that's the thing. But when you try and apply logic to this team, it doesn't make sense. For instance, some of the comps they're playing, they're running a comp on Lotus with no Sentinel, playing double Duelist,
and still with the Sky
without
as
a
well.
Viper, with the old Sky. Like, so many of the decisions they're making seem so off. And in the past, when we've seen PaperX make these decisions, we get things like they're like Rain of Sky comps where they're cooking, they're coming up with something creative. But nowadays, it really does feel like some of these ideas are slipping through the cracks. But that stands in contrast to moments where this team is looking incredible.
Yeah.
Like you brought up, that second half of Split. I think when they're playing on Bind, that comp, very well thought through, very well cooked. PaperX really seems like a team in transition right now that it's, again, so hard to figure out where to place them because of that.
I'm just gonna, I'm an OG Paper girl. I'm gonna come in and maybe channel a bit of Paper Thin as well for this. Is that every single time people do have those questions, is this the end of W Gaming? When do they stop getting away with this? They get away with it. So, we've seen it. We've been here before.
I still think they're the most entertaining team to watch.
I think that's kind of undisputable.
Yeah, but when you hear them coming out and talking the way they're talking, that's when you make them doubt a little bit.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about Forsaken as well, because Forsaken has been on it, and we've seen the rays come out of him, Mimi, for the first time here.
Yeah, I think in terms of things that have improved since that Pacific Final, Forsaken is a big piece of that. He wasn't doing too great when they played regionally, and at Masters Madrid, this guy has showed up and looked incredible. Speaking of the Rays, he's playing seemingly every role possible. They're playing the most agents in this tournament right now, and he looks electric on all of them. Well, also being a big voice in this team, Mike.
Yeah, I think as well, if this is an indicator for kind of maybe rethinking some of the compositions, obviously Monya having a different place within the team, Forsaken back in, I don't want to say the driving seat now that Jing's gone, but maybe building some compositions that are more focused around Forsaken and his current form.
And we've seen that, right? They're switching him onto Rays on maps, they're giving him those moments where he can be confident. And these are things we have to walk away from. That is why PaperX is a contender, because they have players stepping up. Because even if something's having a bad tournament, you still have Forsaken, you still have Munyet, you still have guys who will step up and win these games, even against the best.
The thing is, you say put him on, he's putting himself on those things. Alex is Forsaken that comes up with this kind of stuff. And Genji's Munchkin actually had an opinion of Forsaken's Raze, and I don't think you can get a higher praise, Hypog, on a Raze than saying that you look like Jing.
Yeah, that's up there with some of the best accolades you can receive. Again, it comes down to the sustainability.
Sorry deh, Rak. Manggilnya Arpi doang ya. Iya, makanya nggak dipanggil.
I guess the new form of these compositions, whether or not Forsaken switching onto the Rays, is something they adopt.
Momen monyet terbang pakai
Regen, bang. The Gecko more and more. If that's something that he tries to adopt a little more.
Pakai Reja.
Oh,
momen monyet terbang pakai Reja.
At the Pacific Final. And speaking of texture,
pakai
let's take it back to Mika Fabs, who was waiting to hear from texture actually. Check
momen monyet terbang pakai Reja. Udah ada.
Hey, over here for a bit. Hope you're feeling good because today is going to be a big day. This is the strongest that Genji has looked so far. A lot of people think the same thing. What do you think contributes to the team's success here at this tournament?
Udah jadi short itu pas lawan Farmingport. Udah itu.
Buka channelnya aja, buka channel ini.
Ini kelihatan nih Ilham Pratama tuh nggak nonton semua klip.
Real.
Oh, react. Kayaknya itu pendekan deh. Soalnya kayak cuma sebentar gitu kayak si momennya
terlalu cepat momennya.
Kan kalau misalkan yang momen-momen yang ace, Forsaken yang 4 kill gitu kan momennya nggak terlalu cepat gitu, jadinya enak buat dibikin react.
All of the win conditions from Pacific have continued into this one. People ask, is Karen as a rookie going to be able to show up and look incredible? He's done that. Is Texture going to be able to maintain this performance? He's shown up. He's done that. I think there can be, though, an argument made that maybe they played some weaker opposition, right? They played teams that they weren't at their height. It was loud in their first match of this event. It was an EDG who was really looking like they were crumbling towards the end of that series. But I think that's not what I focus on. What I focus on is that they're on an international stage. They're playing against a variety of different styles, a variety of different opponents, and I think they're doing still a very good job of maintaining this structured style
live report dong
in Pacific while still having the
Nggak nonton
individuals to
timnas.
pop up when they need them.
Sure, I
Karena
mean, I
gue
would
lebih
counter that
fokus
by
nonton
saying bringing a
kemenangan
team like
Paper
this
X.
with, I guess, the
Ngeri.
international experience
Keren
that
gini
you,
VTuber,
some of
wih,
these
ada
teams do have,
Keira.
to come out
Oh
and
iya
be loud,
dong.
regardless of form,
Gue adalah Omen,
qualifying to
meskipun
Madrid,
gak pernah
loud,
pakai Omen.
that's got to be a big bonus for them. And the key thing for me is seeing the energy on stage. It matches
Indo
what,
menang
how
Paper X
Genji
menang
looked
aja.
at regionals as well. I mean, their opening series
Yang
wise,
ngegolin siapa
struggle
enggak?
versus Secret, but still, the energy was super high. Karen was having standout performances time and time again. Munchkin and Texture alongside that. For me, they're looking very comfortable.
I mean, let's talk about Karen a
Kalau
bit more, because
Spanyol
on day one we
percuma
did say
Spanyol
how
mah
does he
timnya udah
compare
pulang
to
jadi
the other
kayak sering
rookies.
mungkin
We had
lemes.
a lot of exciting prospects coming from every single region, and now we've
Anjay.
seen
Inggris
him
aja
in
yang
the group
ngerti-ngerti
stage. How
Apa?
does he compare?
Di Inggris
he looks
aja.
just as good.
Iya.
Quite honestly,
Nah,
he
gua
looks
mah
just
di
good.
Indo.
He could even look better in some of these games. He's
Ya,
still
bebas
winning
dah.
these clutches. He's still a consistent
Males
fragger.
tanggapin
But what I
aja.
want to talk about
Atur.
more is his presence on the
Udah
stage.
speechless.
You look at these clips. Every time his team is
Atur
winning,
dah.
even when his team is losing, this guy is standing up. He's screaming at the opponent. He's bringing the energy.
Kenapa
He's
menurut
such a
kalian
young
Genji
guy.
mendadak
This is his
jago?
first global event. He's a guy they found in ranked,
Yeah,
but he's
yeah.
bringing the vibe against the best. And having a player like
Dan
that
kasihannya
is so
RRQ
important for any team.
And he's dropping some
Gabung
gold,
lah sama
right?
yang
What
lolos
was it
dua-duanya
before
masuk
now? It was like,
playoff.
yeah, well, they won a championship when I wasn't even
I wasn't
playing.
even playing.
Exactly.
Masih.
So he's coming out here. He's got the energy.
Too cold.
Coba aja beda grup,
You know, transcend that to
beda
the rest of
cerita,
his
Cok.
team as well, and
At
also
least
mimicking
RRQ
that
bisa
performance. In
lebih
my eyes,
lama
I mean,
gitu.
I'll go ahead and say we're only
Kalau
entering
kemarin
playoffs
kick
now,
off.
but I don't think we've had such a
Yang
quietly
qualifier
consistent
kick off.
performance.
Tapi nanti
from a
stage
standout
1 bisa
controller
grup lagi kan?
rookie.
Oh
See,
shit,
outside of
man.
duelists, any international
Kalau
events
nggak
so
salah.
far, I
Nunggu
can't
lagi
think
dong
of
If
2
he
bulan
keeps
lagi.
this up, I
Oh,
really think he's
Ah.
in the conversation for like best rookie performance. I mean,
Hari-hari
Demon
menunggu.
1 probably last year was the next best thing.
Franchise
but
doang.
this guy's getting
Main
close
2 bulan
to
sekali.
keeping up that kind of performance.
Hey, he was barely competing when Demon
penuh nih,
1
lumayan
was
penuh nih
winning
stadionnya.
as well, so
That's the even
yeah,
crazier.
We keep
that's
saying
the
it's
other
a
Cuma
thing.
tidak
Yeah,
sepenuh
That
waktu.
is the other thing. But it's time for the
Aceh
result
dan
of our
Heretic
Mastercard
main.
fan poll. Earlier, we asked you if
Tapi itu hitungannya
today's
sepi juga nggak sih pas
regional
Aceh
matches
Heretic?
would go the distance, and you said
Nggak
that you
sebenarnya.
believe
Aduh, udah
the
degan lawan
Sentinels versus
Genji. Ah,
Valorant
ngapain
will.
dia
I
degan?
feel
Ini udah
like I
pasti
think both games
menang.
will.
Yeah, fingers crossed for both.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
would have been me for sure. No shock to see Sentinels and Loud
The thing is,
winning
people
a
who-
Twitter
Gak usah
poll.
People
degan.
who don't think Genji and Paper X are going to go to 3,
Orang
who do you think's going to 2 out?
ini
Oh,
kemarin
yeah,
kan udah
exactly.
di buff
That's a tough
main
call.
sama Mimi.
Probably Genji.
I feel
Mana
like
tuh?
probably,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but
Meskipun
still, I feel
awkward.
like general fan sentiment has been very high on Paper X still.
Yeah,
Upload
we won't
game.
have to wait long to find out. But first, let's find out today's map
Langsung
who we're checking
ninja
with
lagi.
Victoria and our coaches.
Monyet nih.
All right, welcome to the first map
Nah.
select presented by Omen of Playoffs.
Alexa
Map is
sendiri
Madrid.
doang juga udah.
Genji, you are the higher seed as you
Thanks
came
to
into
Heretic
playoffs
Moment
2-0
nih,
from Split. So would you
sama-sama.
like Team A
Masih
or
juga
Team B?
sudah nonton.
Team B. So Paper X, you will be Team A, and we will start with your
Ah,
first
Alex
band.
sendiri doang.
Icebox, your band.
Sunset.
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 And map number 1 from Paper X.
Split.
Split. Side on split.
The fuck?
Attack.
Nami
And map
split.
number 2.
Lotus.
Ketutupan muka
Lotus,
lagi
side on
di
Lotus.
stream ya, di
Attack.
stream
Next
YouTube.
set of bands starting with Paper X, you have Ascent, Bind, and Breeze.
Sabar bang.
Band Breeze.
Band Breeze. Your band, you
Langsung
have
main
Ascent and
split
Bind.
tuh, tumben banget.
Bukan, soalnya menang kan?
Iya sih, cuman kan ada opsi Lotus.
Tapi nggak tahu kan
Lotusnya di-pick sama
pakai,
Genji.
kayaknya pakai yang kemarin 4 second deh. Maksudnya
Iya,
yang race-nya 4 second kemarin kan.
bingung Genji.
Ah, lama.
Kayak mau menang aja map 3
Bind, bind nih yang di bind.
Band
Bind.
Bind. Map number 3 by default is Ascent. Paper X side on Ascent.
Kan?
As.
All right, good luck to
Pasti
both.
Jo, daripada main bind mending main Ascent lah.
Well.
Nah,
we see
kemenangan
the
ini,
match
bro.
already
Kemenangan,
from
bro,
the
kemenangan,
last
bro.
time, not in the same order, and a Mimi split is gonna come
Udah
up
santuy ini.
first. The one that Paper
Kan
X
udah
menang,
yakin
menang.
masuk grand final.
Yeah, for Split,
Tapi di
honestly,
grand finalnya
that's a map
ngecok.
I don't have too many questions about. Both
Cah.
of these teams play very same comps. They've both
Dua
been
kata
rocking with
lucu,
the double
Paper X
doors.
grand final.
I think what we should be fixating on this series is Lotus, because Paper X
Selalu
have
mengecek.
struggled to figure that map out. We were talking about it earlier, Mike, but
Apa ya?
last time they played that double duelist,
Ngecek
double
mulu.
controller with no Viper, no Killjoy, they got ripped to pieces by K-Core, and K-Core is excellent at Lotus. But I think that map, to me, is the pinnacle of where PaperX is still trying to find themselves, where they don't have a comp that really works. I think that weakness in the map pool could really be exploited today.
Absolutely agree with that. I mean, it was a real head scratcher to see the way that they played that comp as well. It wasn't as if, you know, we've got this guy, we're going to front load some of these rounds and be hyper aggressive, guarantee that we're in outside, let the Astra kind of flourish it in a post plant
Tahun kemarin sih juara banget Lotusnya PaperX.
It's a bit concerning if they don't change that.
Lawan
The
Genji.
next question then becomes, is like, where do they go again? Have they now had the time to re-prep? We know PaperX can turn around comps very, very quickly, but it just feels like such a big gap between where they were versus KC and where they need to
Cuman
be to
splitnya
make points
boleh-boleh
as
sih,
well.
rasanya
Glaring
Genji
concern
juga
I will
lumayan
also
jago
say
split.
though, Alex in the press conference, he said the Lotus
Seru
comp
nih
they did
harusnya
end
game
up coming
splitnya.
out with against KC. It was a Hail Mary. He
Aduh,
was like,
tapi
we
aku
are
sibuk nggak punya
struggling.
It's just
editor
so
soalnya.
terrifying to hear that. Like,
Harus
We
live
had
stream
to do
langsung nge-record,
something, and it
bikin
was a good
klip,
enough.
wah capek banget.
And no, it wasn't.
Fit,
Quite
fit,
frankly, it wasn't.
fit.
They got rolled by
Fit.
Carnivore, and I don't think the comp
Wah
was
nggak denger
good.
cok, Atpi
But the
cok.
thing is,
Atpi denger
it's
mah.
PaperX, and I hate to say
Atpi
that
kenapa kan
because
dia
I love
cuma
to be the
teman
person.
gua
Oh,
doang.
they're not playing
Cok,
good.
langsung hilang cok, Atpi cok.
They're the team that's up. But the thing is that this team,
Fine,
seemingly,
Stefan
even when they
Lee.
have that hole, the maps that they have no business winning, they continue to win at this
exactly.
event.
And that's the thing.
Selalu
That's the
ini
hot topic
mapnya
right now.
anjing.
Is like, oh, you guys keep down
Emang lu berharap
PaperX,
apa
and,
lagi,
you know,
Cok?
they always end up getting
Because
themselves
it's
Mau
the
main di
logical
breeze.
thing to
It's
do
the
to
logical
tell
thing
them.
to do, but they are the team to defy
Spam
logic.
chat, spam
I
chat.
just that Lotus comp is the one that's a bit
Icebox kayak
out
apa
the
kayak.
window. In my eyes, that's a little too far past it to really justify.
Icebox-nya
Also,
Genji
they're
masalahnya
taking nothing away
jago.
from Karma.
Wih, ada
A
Juve.
fantastic
Wih,
Lotus
ada
team.
Juve.
Maybe it was exposed,
Misi
you know,
Ju, wih.
exponentially more so
Ini
than
Juve,
another
kita
team.
I want
nobar.
to pull up from the map veto for a
Discord.
second and just talk about this
How scripted.
rematch.
Masalahnya
I mean,
Discord-nya
first of
mana?
all,
Yeah.
yes, he's correct. But also for Genji, think about what this would mean. If they could beat PaperX
Ini
the second
Mimi
time,
tuh yang kemarin
for
main
so many
sama
of those
ini ya?
players, it's their first time
Beda,
on an
Bang.
international
beda.
stage. It's their biggest
Aduh, aku nggak
match
tahu.
ever. They made it to
Nonton
playoffs
aja
when
kalau
so
gue
many people
sana ya,
doubted them.
oke.
And
Ini
now
tuh
they're
yang
again playing
mana
basically
Mas
the
Juva?
kings of their region.
Yang
If
di
they
gitu,
could beat
kalau
them a
ini
second
beda.
time here in Madrid, make it into the upper finals, guarantee a top 3 spot
Kirain
at
orang
their
yang
first
sama
global
Mimi
tournament.
itu.
That would be an incredible moment for this
Yeah,
team.
I think as well when you think about teams and their first
Kayaknya
step onto the
race-nya
international stage or players
semuanya
individually,
sih
you
bakal
talk about kind
gigit,
of
Cok.
validations, what does it, and claiming an international
Udah dibahas
veteran
sama
like
Mimi,
PaperX
meskipun ninja.
would be the second leg to closing out the grand finals regionally versus them in my eyes.
Yeah, I'm looking at the fan votes here.
Awkward
Genji fans, where are you at? Also, shout
Gua
out to
aja yang
all of you, by the way,
klipnya
who's
awkward.
currently hyping out the Genji fans and
Bener-bener
the
bocah,
PaperX
anjing.
fans as well. But where do you guys sit with here? Are you 11%
Anjing,
feeling like
89%.
Genji?
I think Genji's going to win today. I feel like they're favored in this matchup. I think especially looking at this map pool, seeing that Lotus has made its way in.
Yeah.
Genji
Ini
has
tuh
just
kalau
been so
dapetin apanya sih?
consistent throughout 2024. Their players have
Player
been stepping up
cardnya
to a
SJW
new
itu?
level, and it really feels
Final,
like
final.
at some point the
Oh,
PaperX magic won't be able to work
Kami.
anymore.
This is
Cahaya
it, it
MG
comes back to the
Mimi.
same old for me. My heart says PaperX, my head
Iya,
says
lagi
Genji,
gitu.
Yeah.
unfortunately. I think
Tapi
as well
kayaknya
some of these individuals
Mimi
on
kapok
Genji
deh.
continue their performance or even, you know, start improving on the performance. We've seen
Habis itu
Karma,
langsung
you know,
dihapus
bubbling
friend
up with
list-nya.
the tournament now coming into playoffs.
Iya,
A
aku
little bit more
terus
prep time. That's
sementara
a real
doang.
concern for PaperX.
Terus
They're gonna
alasannya,
try and
sorry,
pull out
misclick.
comp changes or really switch up the way they've been playing. If they've gone into that level of detail of the games we've seen already here in
Ada
Madrid.
Caca.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Kita
We do
nobar,
have
Cak,
also
kemenangan
another curse. You know, we
PaperX.
got the 9-3 curse. We have a few curses in this tournament. But
Tapi
whenever
setiap
there's
yang
a
didukung Caca
rematch,
kalah mulu.
whenever that happens, it does feel like the
Contohnya.
team that's lost before
Contohnya.
is somewhat favored going into it again.
Yeah, there
Enggak deh.
certainly is. I think there's a pressure to do
PaperX
more,
Contohnya
to look back on that match and learn.
Itu yang pertama,
And
yang
PaperX
kedua
is
Cak.
a lot better than that. The individuals have stepped up. They've
Kemenangan
gotten
0-2.
closer to finding their identity again throughout this tournament. I think that this is a moment for PaperX that if
Rematch
they can
Pacific
bounce
Rim.
back
Ini
and
mah
make it on forward.
dua-duanya
This is
rematch.
a game
Oh
where
my
Iya.
they
god, udah
dispel
nggak
the
mau.
Nah,
doubts
parah banget
everyone
sih nih,
had
Cak, kita
around
nobar,
this
Cak.
team, around if they can do it again,
What
on
the
if they just have to
fuck?
rely on these solo players,
Kecewa.
especially if they can
Sorry,
do
udah
so
ada party, bro.
dominantly or into against Genji, which I think will be really tough against a good opponent.
I don't think this is it too hard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
Dua-duanya
there's any
rematch
world
grand
where that
final,
happens.
Cuk.
But if they can come out
Sentinel
here and get
sama
a
Laut.
confidence win, not only is that people looking at
Sama
them,
ini,
but for themselves,
Pacific.
right? They're still rating
Region
themselves a 6
lain
out of
kemana
10.
ya?
They're
Exactly.
still low confidence. I
They're
think
always
they
a
need
10
a
out of
little
10
bit.
to me.
Suruh
Always.
masih Pak kecil,
No
iya
bias,
kan?
no bias on the desk
no.
at all. But no, I absolutely agree. I think as well, it's really telling.
Nah, kayaknya
To
udah
hear
deh.
PaperX talk the way they haven't spent these last few days trying to reinvent the wheel almost, because that's the level of extreme I think need to go to. To hear Alex saying,
Bang Hendra nggak usah caps lock aja bang, kebaca kok. Ini kan streamer kecil, jadi websitenya jarang.
Might just be the one that actually gives them the confidence confidence that they need. We are down to our final
Let's
14.
go.
So let's get the playoffs started. It's Genji versus
Main cuy.
Paperex and Sentinels
Git
taking
ketawa.
on Loud. Day 6
Iya, sorry,
of
Git.
Masters Madrid starts.
Gue masih kecil. Hai. Pam energi guys. Simmer kok ngeklip? Nah, iya aku soalnya BU bang. Nah, FIFA RRQ. Udah ek baru ya sekarang tuh?
Belum.
Oh belum, gue kira udah.
Dap each other up real quick.
What?
High five each other real quick.
I remember playing against you guys in scrims back in Iceland.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Bakal ketemu lagi nih.
I remember you guys were
Saudaraku.
insane back then. I'm super happy you guys are here.
Lanjut tense nggak sih? Enak lanjut Sentinel nggak sih? Habis nonton kemenangan Paperex.
Com certeza.
Ayolah Paperex menang biar klip gue tetap rame yang nonton.
Agora no nosso time novo.
Kalau kalah
Kalau kalah sepi. Emang kecil Paperex cuman pengen menangin doang.
So far, it hasn't worked out for them, and I don't think it will. Cara, a adaptação do QCK tá sendo muito boa. Eu acho que ele nasceu para jogar com o duelista.
Tapi Lot lawan Paperex nggak pernah menang ya Lot.
At the end of the day, anyone can like take it and win it. It's Valorant, so
True.
Tapi Lot punya piala master.
champion anjing.
Oh iya tuh. Paperex bisa apa? Bisa jadi juara 2. Si tekstur tuh kayak kelihatan udah tua ya. Tapi masih tajam. Ada yang udah tua tapi nggak tajam-tajam. Ramka.
Setuju boleh.
플레이오프에 진출이
Kenapa gitu kan?
첫 목적이었는데
Setuju aja.
너무 이루게 돼서 기쁜 것 같고 남은 경기도 이제 잘 준비해야 할 것 같습니다.
Monyet played very well, especially
Jangan lupa di like dulu guys.
he's very confident. Unlike
Katanya kalau like-nya 2000 bakal giveaway VP.
I'm very proud of him. Our new kid in the block is ready. You're not gonna meet the same Paperex.
일단 저희가 이제 딱히 증명을 해야 될 필요는 없는 것 같고요.
Tapi nggak seru sih. Masalahnya dua region saling nabrak.
무시당할
Kan nggak apa-apa dah lo katanya.
Ya tapi maksudnya tuh mending dipisah dulu nggak sih ketemunya di grand final aja.
Kan lewat bawah bisa justru.
Saya nanti kalau ini Genji kan kalah, terus nanti Sentinel juga kalah. Nah Genji Sentinel, kasihan Genji pasti pulang.
Yakin tuh Haji.
Anjay, Alexi masih chill bro. Monyet sem-sem. Gila si Laki ya pede banget ya. Tahun kemarin bisa apa padahal.
Kemarin juga nggak ada nembak sih dia.
Oh iya gue nggak tahu soalnya nggak nonton. Gak penting lah. Yang penting cuma Paperex doang.
Ya lu sama di kayak bocil Paperex bangsa.
Indo Pride bro gue mah.
The king of Pacifics, but this is a different stage and a stage that Paperex have conquered over and over again.
these teams, they have faced in Pacific.
Apa kalian siap deg-degan lagi setelah nonton Paper Rex? Nonton Paper Rex tuh gak bisa tenang.
They've done it again. They've made it to playoffs. They have another chance. I think if they can beat Paper Rex today, they can cement themselves as the best team from Pacific coming into this event, as a team who could compete for that title. But they're up against a Paper Rex that no matter how logical you think about them, no matter what you think is going to happen with this team,
Aaron paling males.
they always find that miracle, and that's what makes playing them so damn scary.
Yeah, Paper Rex is the
Suara in-game-nya kecil nggak sih?
Potentials for composition changes to come out. Paper Rex looking back at their previous performances, not feeling fantastic about it. Gen.G now don't necessarily have a very familiar opponent in that regard.
What other team will play a comp for the first
Wih,
time
respect, kaget. Join member, respect, gedein dikit, oke.
Not to the same level though, man. They show up, they make a miracle happen, and then you'll talk them after and like, yeah, we just weren't feeling it.
Segini cukup nggak guys?
Yeah, I mean, on the veins of Navi Angel, he does currently hold the record for the most agents played
Respect
in a
kaget
single
soal join
tournament.
member.
Forsaken is one away. If he just wins out
Membantu
a seventh,
untuk biaya persalinan.
in half the amount of maps too. 'Cause Angels did it
Main freak ganti ini, ganti pisau.
maybe that is the key, like you guys said. Forsaken, he has been creating a lot of the
Pakai pisau river.
at least individually, Mike, he's been doing well.
Iya. Apakah ini tanda-tanda kemenangan? Tidak pencet ini mulu. Wow, congrats. Ih, kok kaget baru tahu emang Angga nggak ceritain ya? Parah banget.
Ya baru Rex aja anjing.
Wih, kok ada vote gini? Siapa yang bikin? Wah, apakah IG aku di YouTube aku di hack?
The thing is, normally when we say that on a desk or on a cast about, oh, you have to do it against Paper Rex, that's the exception. Gen.G is used to that. They played this team twice before. They know about the chaos and they've adapted to it very well. We're in Agent Select and it's standard for once in a Paper Rex game.
Dua smoker lagi dong.
It's the old standard.
Mirror pick cok.
Teams have moved away from this, but it is still a good comp.
Tipikal Sea, dua duelis.
Yeah, and I guess as well abandoning the madness that was the Yoru comp as well coming out from the split, which was the iteration.
Masalahnya teksturnya tuh sakit anjir. Forsaken juga sakit. Cuman angin-anginan. Kayak nunggu panas dulu.
From Caron, both those guys have come out in their debut international tournament and looked incredible. They're both on the run for one of the best rookie performances we've seen.
And probably been the two loudest on the stage as well.
Yeah, well, let's get this Pacific showdown underway and send it over.
Tapi banyak yang nggak expect sih Gen.G bisa sampai playoff.
It's Mixman and Tombiz.
Apalagi ini master pertama gitu. Siapa yang nyangka cok? Manasin Jason rada lama, kalau disuruh duduk dulu baru panas. Kalau manasin monyet gimana tuh? Harus di head command dulu kan?
Gen.G a lesson in that very same thing. Well, that's the thing. I kind of want to touch on what Mike said earlier, where it's like a head over heart sort of situation. I also think it's mind over mental, because the way that Paper Rex play is insane. So you kind of have to almost center yourself. We've seen teams do that throughout the tournament so far. The other problem for these teams is
ini harus jadi caster biar baru. Bukan caster, harus jadi asistennya Alec. Jadi waktu taktikal tuh langsung ngomong one by one gitu. Mimi sama monyet dikasih wejangan. Langsung awkward, langsung panas, langsung ingin improve. Harus digituin monyet.
Is going to be able to match up against America, so I think most people at the moment are favoring in this tournament. Yeah, it definitely feels like fan sentiment, and even from what we've seen, Sentinels have just
feeling kayak nggak enak gitu sih.
Other teams have had shakier starts, but we'll see. Saw what Loud did in their last game. I'd be scared of them just as much.
Masalahnya Gen.G itu sekarang udah nggak bisa diremehin cok.
Talking about this map in particular, we're going to see Split popping up, and actually for the whole series,
asal raja terakhirnya mati aja.
Maps of the BO5 that they played regionally, the Gen.G won dominantly. Now the reality is, coming into Split, Tom, it's not exactly the same, because Paper Rex before, they were running Forsaken on a Yoru, himself and something were diving in, taking so much space and winning almost all of their opening duels. I think it was 13-4, correct me if I'm wrong, where Gen.G just got demolished on this map. So for Paper Rex,
I understand why they've come in and changed their comps. Like we say, the hardest thing is to
Tapi
beat them
Paperex
twice.
sih
So they're bringing
di
a new
Master
comp
ini
and a new philosophy
berdarah-darah.
on how to handle split. Question is, will Gen G be able
Game
to deal with it this time?
pertama langsung kalah lawan EDG. Kedua sama ketiganya dia kalah, ngecok. Tapi selalu di last minute loh, bagus.
Gen G come in, switch into this composition and just look incredible. Like the double duelist especially. The only
Sebut ada Acu sang ini kan Steam Liquid yang udah nggak masuk Madrid, yang cuma Watchparty doang Tim Liquid.
So it is one of those matchups, as boring as it is, where we are just going to go the duelists of the pinnacle. Like, these are the players we have to watch. The amount of times that Paperex would have just got absolutely banged if it wasn't for Forsaken just having life games.
Kaget 100 tip kemana kaget?
Split, he has a someone else's life game. It's not a Forsaken life game. It is okay for anyone else. That would be the best game
kayak
ever
ini
played. Unfortunately, he does
NFS
that every
unboot.
week.
Well, we talked about this on the desk. I heard Mimi say, well, okay, if you think it's going to be 2-0, who is the team to 2-0 it here? And actually, looking at the veto, right? Split last time went to Paperex. Lotus was super close. I mean, if we go based
Ini
on
lagi sama Asuna.
maybe the foundations are there.
Halunya sama seperti orang-orang yang di Discord saya.
A three mapper between these two teams. The best of the best. Pacific number 1, Pacific number 2.
Let's go.
It's time to throw down as the barriers go up on Split.
Yeah, and it's looking like we're going to get a brawl to start things off. Both teams with the majority of their players set up outside.
Defend dulu lagi.
They both run pistols in this direction before. Good nade coming out of Forsaken already. And
Nice one.
Mind Freak peeking off the back of it. They're going to be stuck in the corner early on. This is a great start for Paperex.
Nice banget. Nice.
Tried to jump away. The Boombot was chasing him. Munyet caught him. And for Gen G, 2 versus 5, barely any damage done. At least they
Nafsu nih pasti pada nge-throw nih.
but they have to hope for some
Monyet yang
serious
pertama
mistakes
nge-throw nih
at this
pasti.
point that Paperex go
Kalau udah unggul orang tuh.
or even rotate, assuming that it's a B hit. But you can see there's no real need for panic on the defensive side. They're just gonna hunker down and wait for Gen
Nggak
to
rotate
take
loh.
a step forward and
Terus
get them
anak
the first
Paperex-nya
pistol round
pun
away.
masih sabar.
The scary prospect
Udah
as well is that
tahu permainan
on this
Genji
map
kan.
in particular, we have seen some sort of rougher attack sides out of Gen G. Obviously, that is helped a little bit by having that Omen instead of the
Nice
Astro.
one.
But other than
Nice,
that, it's an
let's
absolutely
go.
flawless start to this one. Now, as said, expectations for Paperex is this is the map that they'll win. If it's going to happen in this series, I think the next two,
Tapi biasanya
I would favor to Gen G, even more so because of
Paperex
the fact
ngambil
that
attacker
so recently
dulu
on Lotus
karena
they
mungkin
changed
Genji
the
yang
comp. For
ini ya
Paperex,
pilih
I'll be
side-nya ya.
honest, I didn't like it. It didn't look good. So this is the map that I feel like
Makanya harus menang banyak nih di defense-nya.
the problem is, throughout this tournament, I've said that, and then they've won the other map. Because that's just how they are. They just manage to adapt. They have the individual players that sometimes they can just fracture a map. And that is rare. Like, it is very difficult to have people that are on that level.
At least from the games we've had, Tom, it has been an insane percentage of teams trading out their own map picks, losing your pick and winning your opponents. Gen G got off to a great start, and as the push comes in, okay, actually they're getting close. The pressure's kind of being applied to Munyet now, blinded up, he's taken down. Okay, it's not a bad start at all for Gen G.
Ada gila-gilanya tuh.
With heals up, okay.
Wih, gak ada yang pakai olo. Biasanya Jasong pakai olo. Lu nobar sendiri bang? Enggak, ini sama teman-teman di Discord.
Samping pakai olo itu.
Oh iya. Teman-teman gue pada nge-mute semua.
Enggak, bohong orang ngomong tahu.
Sorry deh, unsend. Pesannya tadi dihapus.
Ngomong banget sekarang jadi bohong.
Aku kan sambil ngedit juga ini.
Bohong banget.
Keadaan makanya gue kira ngomong sendiri. Iya kan?
Kalau itu bohong beneran sih. Kalau itu bener bohongnya. Ada yang ngedit sampai di sahur.
Iya itu gue itu yang ngedit semua.
Ada
ngedit short, ngedit itu Mimi, capek. Jadi klipper tuh capek guys.
Memudahkan. Karena nggak diakuin kerjanya cowok.
Emang nggak ada suara di Discord ya? Perasaan ada deh. Kamu bohong Acu.
That's the thing I've really enjoyed about Gen G. They've been methodical. They've been careful throughout this tournament. They are not one of those teams
Kan skillnya kepotong dikit bang.
and blitzing their way through rounds.
Oh iya.
They have the skill to do it, but they're always, especially in these sort of
Tim
rounds,
bermagang, guys.
very careful.
And it looks like caution's paid off for them. Whatever noise they made on A has sold it to PaperX.
Muter anjing.
A stack. Of course, there's an outlaw there that could be retrieved.
Kok kepotong semua sih?
Player that will pick it is in heaven.
Kepotong banyak itu.
In a little bit. PaperX here,
Masalahnya
no
nggak
noise, see nobody
simetris.
here. There's a flash still on Divide that could be used to clear outside of it, but this late on in the game, you're just going to sit there, hope they
Nah,
dive into
ini
you.
pas ya.
And as we can see, they've gone to the exact other side of the map. So for PaperX, you know, it's hard to get back into a site with these
Bentar guys,
weapons as well.
aku jarang
especially a site like
live
this
stream
where
soalnya
pretty much
sibuk.
every fight on the way in is long range.
Ngedit klip.
See, normally you talk about okay, maybe going down to the spike or just trying to hold for exits.
Makanya
but I am
jarang
waiting for
nyeting-nyeting
Forsaken
ginian.
to attempt to try and blast back through something, and already Mind Freak taking a lot of control. Now Texture in a fairly solo position. There's a chance. There's the blast back already, and there's the judge. Exactly what Forsaken does. He got a rifle, but it's very short-lived. Well held by
Flawless lah dia nya di mana. Rekomen main sahur dong bang.
They spread themselves out there. Lots of space.
Ini.
So even when that judge gets up close, he's only getting the one, and it's an
Apa sih
immediate
namanya?
drop. The rest of the players easy to deal with.
Sarimi isi 2 tapi 2 bungkus.
Caught out of position.
Biar proteinnya banyak.
Fairly bog standard start to the game. Pistol win for PaperX. Follow up, and then they lose. I mean, the one thing that we'll say is
gara-gara Master Madrid gadak mulu gua.
Again, they did gamble on a site. It didn't work out. This is what happens. The opportunity though to deal that damage here as we get the operator out on something right away, and the shot
Nice.
is not
Wah,
landed, but
monyet.
yet good for one and drop the B site under threat. But Gen G back off. The whole time they've been leaving Meteor outside of A to catch a rotation. He hasn't found one. But one can assume that rotation's going on through the spawn right now if you're Gen G.
Kesalnya Genji tuh gini anjir. Muter-muter jaman lama. Bisa bikin podcast dulu anjir nonton Genji tuh. Beres podcast pun belum beres gamenya Genji.
Aduh, udah fight, deket apa?
Tawan lagi. Aduh, persekan nafsu. Gak pernah gue cara misi 2 bungkus plus telur 2 plus nasi. Oh, parvo semua. Yang bergizinya cuma telur doang. Telurnya bukan telur tawar kan? Ah.
Kayaknya mana dari bapak-bapak belum.
Lagi belajar, Cok. Jadi biar nggak kaget gitu, biar nggak jet lag.
Anjing jet lag.
Start hightailing it in that direction now. So an op for the next round, but just look at the credits on PaperX. It's not like they're going to be able to fully recover into a standard buy. I think the pendulum's kind of swinging in Gen G's favor now.
Mulai nih, apalagi dimasakin istri gue Freya. Ah,
siapa tuh anjing?
Freya saha anjing.
Ngomong siapa maksudnya? Ngomong siapa, Cok?
Itu si Acu.
Ya ampun, Acu.
Kebanyakan halu emang fansnya Liquid. Sama aja ternyata. Padahal halu.
Banyak gini yang live anjing.
Kurang clutchnya Genji. Curang, oh curang. Nggak curang kan emang diperolehkan.
Nice,
malah yang kurang tuh PaperX. Nice, ada masih jaga di situ. Ini dia.
Ping lagi lah.
Anjing dimajuin dong.
He hasn't found them to start off though, and that dash already halfway up. Wants to close the distance. So many tough angles, tight angles to clear with this op in hand, and no idea there's a player up top. He's checking an angle. What a shot! But Lakio was close by.
Ngeflicknya itu. Kayak Doge, cuman Doge mah miss. Udah saatnya nggak sih PaperX pakai 2 clutch? Iya, satunya lagi Mimi.
Masih tuh anjing.
Atau enggak Severin. Kenapa nggak pakai coach Sleepy buat jadi analis? Gila ya. Essence parah ya. Ini Lakia sombong banget. Kayak yang berimpact aja tim. Buat tim.
But as we said, ultis were coming online. We saw the Seekers used by Lakia,
Impact lah,
finding a
menang.
lot of information. This time around, PaperX have theirs, but also a showstopper online. That's a big weapon to have in the back pocket of Forsaken, and could play a role later on in the round. For Gen G, you can see their spread. This is a full default play. At this point, they're expecting PaperX to make some adaptations to throw out some of that signature early round aggression. Still hasn't happened though. They're happy to bunker down and wait for that push to come through.
Jadi harus ngikutin temponya Genji kan.
Genji have a lot of credits built up. If PaperX lose this round, it's going to be a skyrocket.
Tiba-tiba hilang dua. Getar. Mending Asuna aja. Jadi player overrated support sebagusnya tapi tetap gak bisa menang. Asuna loh.
Get, ada yang ngatain Asuna, get. Yang teriak-teriak gitu.
Davai dengan Oninya nih, sakit banget.
Temen dia sakit.
Ada.
Teaming up with Texture, it leaves this man who did get healed up early in the round.
Penting gak sih?
As said, he's been ever so devastating. Showstopper might be able to shoot it into the Viper's pit, but actually
keluar anjing, tapi nggak kelihatan ya?
Enggak. Emang dia nge-step anjing. Aduh.
Pinter anjing itu. Si Manskinnya.
No.
Clickbait anjir. Level 1 coach Alec. Padahal menang angle ya monyet. Membeli PPRX bundle. Anjing. Ada pakai bahasa Indo loh. Indonesia menang nggak?
Menang?
Berapa?
Belum kelar tapi.
Masih 1-0. Legit lah kalau Vietnam doang.
PaperX, they're going to be on stingers, weaker weapons, no ultis to fall back on. It ain't looking great. Off rip. Already, Gen G have found the same number of rounds they did last time they played PaperX here.
Yeah, I said it's looked like a different beast. I think they're a team that have done really well with the coaching staff. Someone as legendary as Solo, I don't think you're ever going to have the same mistakes twice. This guy has been around the block multiple times.
Alex belum marah-marah ya, masih binciling. Gara-gara VCT gue selalu tidur di kelas jadinya setiap hari. Utamakan PaperX bro, utamakan VCT baru sekolah. Kalau misalkan tidur lu terganggu, ya jangan sekolah. Bad influencer.
Anak orang jus.
Tiba-tiba dia mengiyakan lagi. Terlalu capek nyebakin nuts. Ngapain? Orang gak main.
Seen the numbers of clutches from Gen G versus PaperX, but PaperX also do very well in those late rounds. Players like Forsaken,
gila, main cepat nih.
Now, weaker weapons like set, and close range surprise factor is probably the best way to find value. Mind Freak
lah, ngambil lagi.
Dia nggak bisa. Dia pada reload dia.
Iya sih. Gue kira itu final.
Nggak tahu.
Nah, angle-nya licik banget ya.
And that's the last thing that PaperX wanted to give to their opponent. Again, not talking about them losing the round. That's expected. It's the amount of players still alive on Gen G. They're farming credits by the minute, but something has picked up one more. 3 to go. One hell of a play if he made it. And it ain't gonna happen. Look at that.
Tapi something udah panas nih. Tinggal jasongnya doang.
Against any other team, maybe it'd have a chance, but Gen G have been so good just playing off of each other, trading effectively.
Susah.
Even lose another member of the squad.
Soalnya defender dulu loh.
I love the sort of switch up in tempo. especially in these anti.
Tapi nggak ada cypher, enaknya ngeflank nih harusnya.
You had the instant TP to the back of site, information clearing things out. The rest of the team quickly execute.
Pasti ada yang jagain sih.
Sabar belum attackingnya, tapi kan maksudnya ini kan mid defender loh. Orang kemarin aja PPRX comeback tuh waktu pas jadi defender kan, tekernya busuk banget.
Yang gimana?
Yang lawan ini Heretic, yang si Benji itu.
No paranoia to play with, still some flashes on Divide, but PaperX set up with a man disadvantage on a retake seconds into the round.
Temponya tuh kadang cepet. Benji tuh pinter banget.
Genji are even better in the 5v4s. Opener again. Karon takes down another Forsaken, trying his best, but he's almost dead.
Agak maksa itu
something iya depan banget. Karena heavennya di smoke sih. Cuman gak expect di dalam di dekat kotak itu anjir. Tajam banget ya.
Hey, got them the spaces around prior, and then Kara got 4 kills. That's why it's back online.
Pemain Perez selalu masuk ke crosshair-nya. Iya, jadi nyamperin ke crosshair-nya.
Nyala ini lakinya. Iya, nyala vandalnya.
Tumben. Oke.
Just take a look at the credits on that right-hand side. It's looking pretty for a number of rounds to go. Maybe for the rest of this half.
Tapi serunya tuh Korea perwakilannya nggak selalu DRX loh.
Baru sekarang
ini maksudnya tuh kayak ada variasi baru.
Gila. Dipunis aja nggak bisa.
Feral Fans Liquid mana bang? Nggak tahu. Timnya aja nggak ada.
Belakang.
Nice. Ketenangan.
Waduh, pelurunya dikit.
Udah bagus. Satu peluru doang loh itu. Udah ketenangan itu monyet.
Pertamanya dapet sih.
Ini lihat di sini. Teng.
Mana ini? Apa dia nggak? Tahu TP kanan ya.
Dikiranya si Genji tuh fake TP.
Iya, tapi ada yang ngomong pasti kanan gitu kan. Nyawa lu aja berapa anjing?
Harus mungkin sengaja Genji gitu biar nyala kan, harus ditonting dulu. Jelek banget.
Close opportunity for PaperX to clutch it, and this could have looked very different, but instead they're on an eco. They've already lost some stingers to play with.
Posisinya awkward banget kok.
Apa?
Iya.
Selalu matinya selalu posisinya.
Iya, kayak gambling gitu, kayak main kompe aneh. Ngepick aja. Lihat tuh, per second. Anjing, post plan semua cek.
Mati.
Lah, nice. Lah itu dikira temen mungkin ya. Kenapa nggak ambil sunset ya? Sunsetnya di band.
Pasti di band. Lihat kayak gitu aja.
Anjir udah 8 loh. Harus ngambil 2 lagi, wah berat banget. Apakah ini gamenya cepat? Nih lihat tuh, something ngapain cuk? Aku nggak boleh kayak ini ya, nggak boleh nge-head PaperX, harus dukung terus. Nanti
duanya Lotus lagi anjing.
Nih, Genji juara ini mah. Enggak lah, PaperX bro.
map that previously Gen G
Nanti dibales di grand final kalau nyampe.
Now they come to the international stage and
they might do one better.
Lawan Clut sih Peprex masih agak pede.
Nah gitu dong.
Nice. Nah, kalau diperangin 5 lawan 5 menang Peprex tuh.
Iya, jadinya makanya nunggu tadi.
Tuh. Grand final ketemu 100 Thief di universe lain. Ini dulu, benerin dulu tuh koms. Analitik udah motor bisa mau pesantren killer. Gila. Kamu tidak akan menonton kemenangan Peprex. Acu. Dapatlah satu lagi nih. 4. Oh, tapi ekonominya Genji sih.
Beli rumah di pick bisa.
Iya cuy, tekstur beli OP juga masih bisa beli 5 lagi. Gak mau merangin lagi midnya, kapok. Takut katanya. Iya, Peprex kontrol midnya banget. Kasian Peprex tuh Aaron selalu main sendiri mulu. Nge-hold side. Dulu masuk zaman BNK kan enak gitu ya, ada Sentinel. Sekarang
metanya juga udah ganti.
Iya sih, nggak harus ada Sentinel. Orang mereka yang ganti sendiri metanya.
Semua tim aja.
Timing deh. Pada rotate semua cok. Itu B-nya kosong.
TP into the backside once more. It's been cleared out, so the spike will be able to go down. This almost has to be a complete retake.
Oh, nice shot by Lakia as well.
Gila Lakia nyala anjing.
Dicuekin gitu midnya cok. Oh belum plan ya soalnya. Spike-nya mati lagi yang bawa spike-nya. Nice banget pasnya Cuyy.
4 rounds at the half. It's not a death sentence like you said, Tom, but certainly nothing to celebrate. This has been a strong performance from Gen G.
Nah, biasanya Peprex attacker-nya ngecok nih.
Plenty more left in the tank for this second half. You have to hope that PaperX have got something special planned on their attack cuz
enak banget tuh lurus. Itu Mimi.
Yeah, it is definitely a troublesome position to be here, but the fact is there's definitely still opportunities. Even still though, you said Lakia's performing. Let's hear from him now.
안녕하세요. 젠지 e스포츠 소속으로 활동하고 있는 라키아 김종민이라고 합니다. 무엇보다 플레이오프에 진출하게 돼서 행복한 것 같습니다. 일단 첫 스타트가 되게 힘들었었고 오늘 또한 첫 경기 자체는 되게 힘들었는데 그거를 잘 극복해내서 좋은 모습 보여줘서 기쁜 것 같고요. 이제 플레이오프에 진출이 원래는 첫 목적이었는데 너무
udah beres ya timnas menang. Katanya JIJS-nya bagus.
Backnya bagus, attack-nya nggak ada.
Itu anaknya Pak Ganjar gimana?
Siapa anjing?
Oke cara.
원치킨 선수가 젠지에 되면서 저희 게임 스타일이나 그런 수준이 되게 올라갔다고 생각을 하고 그리고 이제 네, 개개인의 실력 또한 이제 원치킨 선수가 저에게 콜을 되게 많이 해주는 게 피드백을 많이 해주는 게 있는 것 같다고 생각합니다. 자신감은 늘 넘치고 우리는 준비되어 있고요. 그리고 이제 진짜 더 잘하는 모습과 더 좋은 모습을 보여드리기 위해 잘 저희가 준비해야 될 것 같습니다. 이제 플레이오프까지 진출하게 됐고 이제 또 경기들이 며칠 뒤에 올 텐데 그때까지 더 좋은 모습을 준비해서 저희가 이제 잘하는 모습.
Tapi nggak ada yang expect banget anjir Genji. Ras banget. EDG aja.
동료해주시는 팬분들께 너무 감사하고
dibantai.
팬분들을 위해 게임을 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Padahal tahun kemarin Genji temannya DFM.
Ngebawa banget lah anjing, masih ada talon.
Oh iya, masnya masuk bottom 3 itu. Kayak bukan masalah berat kayak gitu tahun kemarin.
Their attack side is about to be put to the test, and the big thing to write home about last time was something diving into sites. The thing is, he had a Yoru causing a lot of chaos for him. Now it's a little bit more conventional, but that's never the name of the game with PaperX. In he goes! Something's looking for a fight. Paranoia is perfect. Snake bite's even better.
Gak expect di situ.
He doesn't stand a chance. The
Nice.
rest of the squad
Oh,
didn't
nice.
save him, but they've ended up falling to a 3 versus 1 with Meteor left standing and his
Sedih dengernya.
Nope.
Arun anjing kenapa cok? Di Gopur tidak seperti itu.
Ya lawannya bukan tekstur bang.
Siapa kalau di Gopur?
Kilo.
River Baygon.
Aduh. Pegang pala itu.
Kok Arun bisa gitu? Itu
harusnya keren banget
ini. 109 bro.
Siapa? Wah iya cok.
Bau. Efek ganti pisau kah?
Iya, beres map ini kayaknya ganti pisau lagi.
Ganti Gonami lagi.
Oh, force mereka.
Meter doang yang force.
Karena dia nge-kill ya.
Udah takut nge-kill nih.
An opportunity if they had have spotted the player in the corner. Monyet though able to deliver the killing blow. Mind Freak fell to his
itu dekat.
What is that push from Meteor? You will rarely
Segitu anjing.
Monjet.
Udah ngeplan nggak sih?
Orang matinya begituan lagi.
Iya.
Dia tuh matinya
Lagi nge-heal.
Molly anjing.
Oh iya mau ke Molly. Tadi lagi ngambil orb si Jason.
Davanya nggak bisa backup.
Overthinking nih. Kemana ya?
Nggak ada infonya salah. Siapa aja nggak sih? Mau kayak apa? Dua nih.
For now, at least, it seems like he's waiting for that site to be taken. Smoke will give that away. The spike being planted. And now he can look to try and see if
Habis nyata dulu ke bawah. Bunuh Davai. Maklas aja. Oh.
Kapan dia bunuh Davai?
Ini nih tuh, lihat. Bunuh Davai.
Jadi cek ini mah.
Nggak mungkin.
Nah. Sengaja tuh buat nge-jinx.
2024 percaya jinx.
Jinxnya kan Wamin.
Enggak masih streaming.
Tahu gitu, nggak usah rekrut monyet dalam hati Peter.
Main kripto kasihan. Kan bakal tetap wamil juga bang.
Iya. Maksudnya mending ikut dulu ke Madrid nggak sih? Menurut buat Cuyy. Nah ini nih harus menang di sini nih biar gapnya nggak jauh banget.
Aman nih bayinya.
Down at 150 credits, so for the next round they might be in a little bit of trouble. Forsaken though, he's just gone walkabouts. He's sprinting after Lackey, but he isn't going to be able to land the shot. At least for now.
Granat ya sih Son.
Granada.
No heavy price tag associated with it.
Granat dulu nggak sih? Granat dulu nggak sih?
Waduh.
Double dulu banget.
Double pick di bawahnya udah double pick juga.
Penting jauh banget.
Lagi bau cu. Jelek banget apa angle-nya udah bagus. Klik mulu.
He almost killed Devi through the screen as well, so he's going to be half HP entering the site. They don't even know if he's there. A perfect reposition. This might be a flawless return to form as Devi's the only man left standing.
Bisa lah Devi minimal kill 5.
Talk about
minimal dong tai.
Semblance of damage. As said, they invested some extra credits into this round, so the next round's not exactly going to be pretty. Normally talk about saving, but
udah dijaga.
would have value, and he's just been seen knowing exactly where he is now. I imagine there's going to be pressure placed onto this man. Blast packs could be thrown in, but it's just going to be the entirety of the squad looking to just jump down upon him within those last few seconds. Well, it's not even needed.
Si ditungguin gitu.
Gets the job done, and Gen G will extend their lead.
5 players alive, you know, it's a little scary. It feels like since the very beginning of some of these.
Gak bisa cuy nonton Paperex tenang tuh. Kenapa ya?
When it comes to economy. And I think for this 6-9 scoreline,
Ini gara-gara pada ngedukung Paperex sih pendukungnya. Pendukung Madridnya pada ngedukung Paperex.
After winning first 2, what's the issue? The issue is the damage done. 2 players alive coming out of both of those rounds. It meant constant reinvestment, and Paperex now left with a Stinger and a Sheriff. Light shields on most players. Disadvantages to play with.
Line up-nya jelek.
I mean, it kind of has worked because Munchkin.
Wah, lagi bau beneran Aron.
Not doing exactly what they
It's not
intended.
going to cover up above. They've had to re-smoke it. Again, an explosive start to
Eish.
almost a kill. Well, I say almost.
Untung aja.
This is exactly what Paperex does.
Ah.
Fast-paced plays into the site. As mentioned, this was a weaker purchase. They had some pieces missing with that Sheriff and Stinger. Now, though, you look towards the players of Gen G. And this 2v4 scenario. Flash is already going to reveal Texture's position. And they've spotted Karen as well. No,
Jelek banget.
the peek out never really came in. The player behind
Bener-bener dicek angle-angle loh. Genji tuh disiplin.
Now it gets a little bit more interesting. Space given to Texture.
Nice. Main flick mulai menyala, John.
He's been quiet so far, but popping a couple of heads with the Sheriff isn't going to go amiss.
Well, this is definitely the time to wake up. You know, we gave the same
3-11. Somethingnya 8-11.
ran away with it, but here a challenge early on.
Monyet mode G kan? Tofrek, smoker.
Many weaknesses on the board. I mean, this was a round where you have a couple of rifles, and what ends up winning it is a Stinger diving on the site. 2 kills out of a Sheriff to close the round out. Doesn't get much better than that. It was even a classic jumping around the corner.
Wah, gimbal gimbal big.
It's also now, you've talked about, it's 8
Kasian
rounds in a row
Monjet.
that were lost. An 8-2 scoreline. The difference is now just 2. That's how close Paperex have managed to bring this. Going onto their favored side, the B site under serious pressure.
Wih, pinter. Gak dicek itu. Nice. Oh, kok nice sih.
Parah cowok.
Gue kira monyetnya yang tele ke sana. Bener kan?
Mabok di sana.
Anjing. Halu gue cuy. Soalnya tadi gue lihat tele Omen ke pojokan. Ternyata lupa. Tekernya Paperex. Gak bisa main cepat berarti.
Salah gambling aja.
We're at a stage where if Gen G picks up one more, they'll be knocking on victory's door.
Mulai level 2 nih, Alek.
He's had a great game, but I think that double kill from Munchkin, that tripled his kills.
Mine free.
I said Munchkin, sorry, man.
Pakai baju heretic.
Munchkin's been doing well.
Yeah, Munchkin's
Lu nggak kelihatan, lu nggak usah bawa heretic, nggak kelihatan, lu nggak usah ada.
Had a quiet performance. I also think something though, like we talked about the duelist in this matchup. Other than I'd say even Forsaken, they've actually.
Ini kayaknya yang nonton-nonton ini kan pasti tiketnya tuh di bookingnya tuh hamin berapa gitu kan? Tiket buat Grand Final gitu, yang beli-belinya tuh karena udah terlanjur beli. Berharap lolos terus Emmy-nya.
Pulangin juga Paperex.
Malah ngedukung Paperex.
The slight bit disjointed like that round, Karen just pulls out a crazy play and is able to win the round for them.
Aduh, bingung nge-flip apaan ya, belum ada momen yang bagus.
Aku satu map bang.
Nanti ya map 3 kalau sampai pasti nggak akan nyampe lah, soalnya Paperex-nya langsung menang 2 kill.
Costly ruse perhaps. Forsaken. The decay is going to fade, but he's still half HP. And Munchkin finds a
Gila.
deal with him. One well-placed shot, and he's down and out. Now we need to see the return for Gen G as another is found. Something falls. 2 rifles still in play. Seekers still in play. And a few flashes here and there. 1, in fact, just on Divide. Not a lot for them to fight their way back through with utility, but it's this man's position that might get them something. He's found another with the weaker weapons. This man's an animal. Oh, he's being put down. Rex, they look to take it elsewhere, but
Aduh bro.
Nah ini main freak time. Udah ada info di Heaven swing. Lihat dua orang nge-flank. Udah dapat info ini, tinggal nunggu yang belakang.
Ini pasti kalau di kompe yang terakhir loh.
Kalau di 100 TV itu terus bacot.
I think
cocok tuh kalau misalkan 100 TV main sama casternya caster Spanyol. Wah, ribut.
Aduh bro, kenapa ya? Aduh, udah.
Good appetit.
Apakah lower bracket kan dikit-dikit?
Takutnya
tapi Lotusnya begitu anjing.
Gak tau deh. Lotusnya juga begitu.
Dia begitu semua lah pokoknya.
Gak ada yang tenang cuk, Paperex.
Enggak, mapnya juga dikit anjing.
Iya. Mapnya jelek.
Iya.
Itu aja.
Coba kalau ada ini ya. Pearl.
Factor. Pearl.
Nice.
Anjir gak di-upgrade dah. Ini.
Nice. Menyala John kan? Anjing dikasih tempe.
Awas bang. Mati.
Gak expect loh. Maksudnya aware. Gak aware.
Kok marah-marah?
Itu maksud tuh Genji tuh dapat free kill kayak gitu dulu loh. Kill yang gampang maksudnya tuh nggak saling nembak 1v1.
And so that's a lot for this defensive side to close out this game. If you remove those ultimates, it looks like they'll close out the game because they're winning almost all of the buy rounds thus far. The closer rounds for Paper X have been individuals, and they need to show up individually and together.
Udah tahu tuh ngepus mid udah.
The challenge already underway.
Nice.
Nice dah. Nah, lari.
Sampai gak sih?
Ngejing.
Flanknya nggak tahu tuh.
Iya.
Duh.
Nice. Nah gitu loh, utility usage kepake.
Masuk, ayo dong, belakang dong satu,
Masuk kocak. Aduh,
anjing putar-putar, cok.
Entry bos ini. Smoker entry bos. Anjing dihiraukan itu. Aduh, ting.
Kena tuh
Nah nih mau dipisau nih. Bisa ini.
Saya lagi top frag ya.
Bisa ini.
Iya.
11-13. Oh.
Mau pisau ini dong.
Beli bang.
Juva.
Beli dong bang. Kan udah gajian.
Gila.
Itu lu udah beres Vi. Si Pais.
Udah.
Nanti gua nonton. Lu pasti malas ngedit.
Udah diupload.
Udah, lu pasti malas ngedit yang subtitlenya.
Enggak, itu otomatis.
Otomatis.
CapCut bro. CapCut is another level cok.
Tapi setelah gue kasih tahu bisa import ke Premiere pakai terus aja.
Makanya dia bikin subtitle cepet.
Nggak pernah pakai itu.
Oh, sorry deh. Mundur bang, udah itu susah A-nya.
Udah mid ke B aja, mid ke B. Iya itu udah mundur bang. Mid ke B jangan main.
Masih kekeh.
This, I mean, that count there is very important. Just seeing something clear the spawn, you see how much space they lost. Because this Viper's Pit isn't just stopping a push, it's stopping all of Paper X's plans. Their plan was to blitz A. They get slowed, they get stopped, and now they have to go back and re-clear everything. Even if there's not a player flanking, if they're just pushed up and holding that aggro intel, you're going to find it very hard to actually dive in. Now this TP is
cek semua bang.
Up top, it's going to be broken.
Kalau nggak dihancurin itu mati ya.
Below, spotted and taken down. Gen G have the advantage. They're going to challenge.
Oh, banget. GG.
Ultinya udah kepake lagi.
Kenapa masih ngotot ke A ya nih? Dari
berharap ini rotate Vipernya.
Aduh bang.
Sama splitnya juga nih.
Aduh.
Banget cok.
Sakit Genji mah emang dari Pasifik. Kelihatan.
Meteor tekstur jadi satu.
Sama Karonnya juga anjing.
Semuanya anjing.
Nah, laki ya kadang-kadang lah.
Ya laki pelengkap aja lah.
Iya, kadang bang. Kadang nembak, kadang enggak.
And he comes out fragging. The calls were good. We had some good fake plays, but at the end of the day, this was a Gen G map. 13-8 doesn't sell it. This was
soalnya map Genji nih.
Now they move on to their pick of Lotus after this.
Lower ketemu Sentinel,
Maksudnya Genji kan ketemu lower Sentinel.
Iya, siapapun lah ketemu Sentinel.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through attack.
Watchparty.
Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle. You're going to be able to fight this.
Top 4 udah bagus sebenarnya.
Dengan line up yang masih angin-anginan gini ya.
Iya nih. Baru berapa bulan anjing?
Berapa?
Tahun 6.
Gue kira double stream, beneran double stream, Ucil dan Mei.
Iya. Enggak gitu Jus.
Sama siapa?
Mau sama siapa dah?
Gue mah ngikut. Yang nonton Wilson kok dikit ya?
Iya dia enggak. Di Jepang anjing.
Dia judulnya live reaction.
Iya, live
reaction doang. Lu mau berharap?
Tapi ini gelap.
Gimana caranya?
Ini gelap.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Tahu ngapain tuh?
Oh turu cok.
Oh turu.
Mana live reactionnya bang?
Tiduran anjing. Gak jadi reaction. Tiduran anjing. Banyak banget yang live anjing. Ini lo tuh pasti rame kan. Oh, 700 nih. Sama ada Bang Pongs.
Ini kebagi dua loh, ini sama kecil. Sama-sama gope lagi. Wah, Frost Missy sekarang jadi streamer unboxing ya?
Review.
Oh ini nih, anjay. Thumbnailnya lo yang edit, Vic?
Bukan. Nampak kayaknya.
Pantesan kuring.
Waduh. Wah.
Juva ya.
Juva ya.
Enggak maksudnya.
Bagaimana sih, Jus?
Hah? Ya nggak apa-apa kan, orang kenal ini sama Pak Is. Nih, at least ada blur-blurnya belakangnya. Anjir.
Labil.
54.000 bos dalam satu hari doang.
Tapi kayaknya udah gak jalan lagi ya, yang itu enggak, yang
iya
nambah lagi ya.
Cuma nambah 1.000 doang.
Udah lewat bang, udah main lagi ini. Udah bukan masa tenang.
Interview ini lucu sih anjing Arun.
Iya, grade pinan. Ada yang komen, lu orang Betawi ya bang? Bener ada sih, karena pakai subtitlenya ini. Ketawakar gitu. Ntar kehalangan ya bang. Main nggak buat konten reaksi David isengin samping di ban. Tidak seru. Cuman gitu doang.
Bener dulu.
Kakak aja nggak tahu. Posting dulu lagu apaan? Iya itu lagu banyak yang nanyain kan.
Nggak tahu lagu Jepang.
Lo yang ngambil sendiri kan?
Tanya Rilonya lah anjing.
Kira pas lagi nonton ini Live-nya Wilson.
Itu lagu dari Lilonya kan, bukan lu yang tamain kan?
Dari Lilo-nya.
Iya, tanya Lilo lah, kenapa tanya gitu.
Dia pas lagi ini joget sama
iya, ada donasi gitu.
Bang Juk orang Betawi bukan? Orang Betawi.
Kayaknya gara-gara ini ya, apa sih?
Subtitlenya
ada EE-nya.
Iya. Jubnya pakai B lagi, Jub.
Mantan gua orang Betawi.
Yang itu kan yang lu editin videonya tapi star syndrome.
Yang apa?
Yang lu editin video-video dia yang jadi selebgram itu kan?
Yang mana?
Oh bukan ya. Yang ketemu itu kan yang lu ke TA tapi alasannya bukan ke TA.
Itu emang ke TA kocak.
Oh tapi kan ada maksud lain.
Benar.
일단 페이퍼렉스가 진짜 많이 공격적인 팀이다 보니까
Siapa
피지컬을
jadi
앞세워서 게임을 많이 하는데 저희
Wah,
또한 피지컬이
hostnya Cuyy.
지지 않는다는 생각을 하고 있거든요. 그래서 저희도 공격적으로 하자는 식으로 많이 얘기를 많이 하고 있고요. 그런 게 좀
Bingung nih ngatang merangkai katanya.
피지컬이 좀더
panjang tuh.
Iya.
Of course, PaperX infamous for their W gaming, but I feel like Gen Z players can match up to their firepower as well, and I feel like we're shooting our heads too today. So we just came into this matchup with the mindset of, you know what, fight aggressive teams with aggressive attitude. Don't be afraid to take those fights. Don't give them too much respect, and I feel like we're just having a really good day overall.
Yeah, it's looking really
Gila,
good
udah
for
7
Gen Z.
juta
So thank you very
penonton.
much. Let's see if they can close this out.
It's not just a good day. They've had a great tournament so far. I'm Yingsu and I'm back here with Mimi and Hypok. You heard it from Solo there. They're confident. They're hitting their shots. They know how to deal with PaperX. And Mimi, it's not looking great on the other side.
Yeah, to be quite honest, I think that Genji looked like a better PaperX in this game, right? They had the ridiculous individual
Kasusnya Bella tuh kenapa sih? Jadi menurut kalian salah siapa?
Fundamentals. You compare the info these two teams were giving up their defense with the Sky Util.
Kenapa tuh? Kalau dari Bellanya salahnya kenapa?
Ngasih kontrak.
Nggak bikin kontrak.
Ditambah dia udah ngatur-ngatur gitu ya.
Iya.
Kalau dari playernya,
dia seenaknya aja.
Nggak pakai etika.
Ya.
Tapi mungkin mereka mikirnya karena kita kan bukan diikat kontrak maksudnya tuh. Kalau misalkan emang dibayar, cuman kan dibayarnya tuh nggak ada kejelasan.
Ya makanya.
Tapi kan dibayar juga.
Tahu.
Nggak yang kabur gitu loh ownernya nih yang bayar dulu.
Setidaknya ada pemberitahuan gitu.
Iya, benar-benar
kalau mau keluar masuk.
Tapi untungnya maksudnya tuh belum dikontrak.
Ya, kalau dikontrak mungkin nggak kayak gitu.
Cuman kan maksudnya
ya belum tentu juga lah bisa jadi kontrak tetap cabut sih.
Nah takutnya yang
Kan
masalahnya
denda, kalau kontrak kan bisa didendain.
Bisa dikasusin.
Iya bisa dikasusin, bisa kan tergantung isi kontraknya.
Kenapa?
Yeah, and you saw it in the vibes as
Betul.
well. After every round, they were giving it, they were shouting across the stage. And on the other side for this, for PaperX, as we take a look.
Napski emang ikutan puasa ya?
Shoot around. Monyet, again, he was kind of one of the players we were really looking forward to watching.
gimana?
What else has he got?
Ada yang nanya, gue kan lihat storynya si Napski. Bang Napski, coba dong ikut puasa.
Ci coba ikutan puasa.
Lah emang gue puasa.
Emang iya.
Berarti dia tuh muslim.
Emang iya. Kocak.
Gue kira yang cindo-cindo gini.
Mau Cino nggak boleh Islam.
Kan biasanya menjadi minoritas mulu. Lah Raka nggak Cindo, nggak Islam.
Apa sih? Jadi beda konteksnya tuh. Udah lagi anjing.
Pantas banyak nanya kenapa Bandung nih anjing.
Bandung kenapa?
Tadi sama yang itu anjing. Sama yang ngomong kenapa Bandung ini.
Kenapa Bandung?
Kenapa Bandung?
Kenapa Cindo puasa?
Karena Lili bete maksudnya.
Apa?
Karena filosofi Alex bete. Nggak ada Victoria cek.
Lama banget nih kata Alex.
Jadi kayak kain pel aja.
Apa?
Figure out how to win the round. And then if it goes well, then we can snowball.
And I guess calm down a little bit and make sure that they
sekali
get
itu
their
anjing.
yeah?
Yes, so.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if Paper X can wrangle
Kayaknya emang dari Papersnya pun nothing tulus nggak sih? Mereka aja waktu lawan KC kayak nggak berharap kayak bisa menang loh lawan KC itu, kayak ya udah main-main aja gitu.
Karena squad baru itu pada mikirnya. Ya sama kayak ada itu
segini pun kayak ya udah gitu, alhamdulillah.
Bawa Viper
Tetap dua duelis. Tapi ini masalah inisiatornya jelek sih, cuman ngandelin Davai doang. Kayak nggak dari recon-reconnya gitu loh, ngandelin flash sama Dogi doang.
Cuman sekali itu berarti. Dari 4 kali main cuma 1 menang dong berarti.
Emang.
Alone on his utility and opening up opportunities for Paper X in the mid round was absolutely it was absent last time with the Astrocomp, so really going to be scrutinizing him.
Oh well, Paper X, if they don't win here, they will be going into elimination on day 1 of playoffs. Mitchman and Tombiz, how are you guys feeling about this one?
Well, Yinsu, I'm feeling excited because at worst we should have a good game.
Itu mouse-nya something apaan? Fantek. Iya, kayak gua kan warna putih gitu mirip. Yang baru setahun udah double klik.
Fantek yang nyontek lagi.
Hah? Nyontek
ATM mati tiru. Jersey timnas dong.
Erspo. Gak nyerap keringet.
Aduh, goblok banget itu.
Salah jiggle itu kemajuan. Jason nanti pasti pakai Odin.
Aduh.
Mundur guys, mundur banyak.
Karena tuh.
Anjing
Jadi bokongnya tembak aja.
Kok mati 2 juga lo. Jadi dia sendiri.
Hai kanan, Hai.
Sedih cuy.
Nggak, itu bisa mati 2 kenapa dah?
Iya, yang satu kan siapa sih tadi? Si monyetnya mau ngambil senjata.
Kalau monyetnya kena timing. Yang satu lagi
main fake.
Oh, ini nggak ngecek atas.
Ya maunya timing itu karena mau ganti senjata.
Selin tai.
Ya cuma karena perang pisau aja jadi skornya naik.
Oh, sebenarnya di situ bagus.
Ngincar yang di ini, yang masih namanya, yang batu itu. Anjing, nggak tahu apa namanya.
Mati dong nyet.
Gue jadi ngeplan gue lo.
Ada heal.
Nggak ada smoke tuh. Apa nggak ada smoke? Nggak ada.
Ada di toal mati aja.
Udah malu. Lihat. Sian coba.
Kenapa?
Tuh gue kira Phantom ini.
Nice.
Nggak tahu apaan tuh.
Teksture. Bapak-bapak ini cok.
Bapak.
Genji tinggal dia di Amerika.
Ini amat ya dukung Paper X.
especially
Anjing, tas
Gila, kayak gampang banget main Valo ya kayak gua. Angga mah jangan ditanya ngeflanknya.
Lu
Lah kok gua?
Lu
Enggak maksudnya yang ini. Yang dapat timing. Musuhnya di depan semua, Angga di belakang nih. Wah. Nah, Odin sama. Wih anjing malah ikut low kayak gua. Nge-wallbang gua yang low.
Lu nge-heal buat siapa, Pai? Tanyaan.
Forsaken.
Oh.
Ah gimana sih game sense-nya kurang Raka. Pantesan lawan Kaco. Main sama Kaco, stres Kaco. Ah.
Sorry dah, emang suku.
Ah.
Aduh monyet.
Udah habis buff miminya.
Wih,
game sense pasti ngepick itu. Gile. Gue ternyata nggak punya logo YouTube gue sendiri anjing. Gue punya filenya.
Jelas nih.
Tadi kan diminta ya sama pihak Valo tuh. Boleh minta fotonya nggak? Gak apa-apa selfie atau apa.
Selfie.
Pas gua nyari logo YouTube gua, loh kok nggak ada? What the?
Bro.
Ah,
lo. Mahal bang.
Tapi mahal, cok ban bonus round.
Itu kalau dibanting juga sih, nggak tahu ya.
Oh iya.
Mati dong.
Lah mati. Anjing kata dia.
Ya udahlah katanya.
Gila itu yang dibanting sih.
Iya. Nih, teng. Ini, dang.
Bete tuh anjing. Apaan sih?
Bang.
Kenceng banget anjing.
Getar coret.
Madrid bergetar.
Kulkas serbunya getar, Cuk. Min 100 stable.
Hope this time we manage to shut texture down. Beat up Karen, try our best. They really manhandled us last finals and I hope we get it right this time.
Yang Alex ngomong ya?
Artinya apa bang?
Artinya
jangan lupa ibadah.
Jangan lupa sahur jangan makan Indomie.
Karena siangnya bakal lapar.
Kenapa ya? Kenapa Vi?
Karena isinya plastik. Lilin.
Bang, udah move flash bang.
Aduh, modar dong.
Mati dong net.
Coba gambling.
Di situ aja.
Timing banget loh. Nice.
Mati loh.
Odinnya longselin.
Jason dulu. Bakal.
Masa 2-0 langsung sih?
Iya, Lotusnya kurang juga.
Ini loh timing banget loh something. Gebrak lagi kah? Oh, enggak.
Anjing. Camnya bukan ke pemain lagi anjing, ke Alex.
Soalnya yang reactionnya bagus Alex doang. Anjing. Suka ada loh bikin ini yang nge-clip. Alex marah-marah doang.
Well, also they've already taken the control. That's the main reason. You've got Karen aggressively up. It's allowed for a gamble rotation, so he's just moving that Odin elsewhere. Not the most common door to spam because you are open to a couple of angles, but it won't matter. And this is the thing. We've seen this.
Tidak ada smoker.
Find a kill, TP back. Karen is excellent at knowing when to reposition as well, so they can leave those
Nyelip.
Where is he going?
Gila-gilanya laki anjing.
He's made it just about around that corner, but well, that was
Muter-muter tuh
risky.
Jason.
Through that wall.
Bingung.
I'm not sure that would have went the way he was thinking. Spray good for Munchkins, a narrow alleyway to
Ah.
in and wow, that's a lot of damage.
Buset, sakit banget anjing.
Paperex here. Of course, we did mention they have those weaker weapons. They don't have a lot to play with.
Ya Allah, dukung Paperex gini amat.
Hate to harp on the economy, but Genji off to a flying start with it yet again. It's feeling reminiscent of last map, but it is still very early days. Plenty of time for Paperex to find their footing. They don't want to waste time throwing rounds away. They call the time.
Nggak expect apa-apa ini.
We might actually get to the point
Ini loh,
where we
titiknya juga
highlight
mati.
when Genji don't have money. We'll just save time.
Yep. It's the play.
They've had it the whole time throughout the
Udah
series.
pede mampus Genjinya.
I like the pause though coming out from Paperex because this has been rough. And even
Oh iya, Aaron udah ganti Kuronami.
KC, they struggled when it came to this attacking side. A lot of that was a bit of a peculiar composition, but I don't know if this one's looking any better for them right now. Also, it has a lot of reliance, again, on this double duelist. And there was a moment or two at the beginning where I was like, okay, something looks like he's here to play. But ever since then, they're just getting boomed. And everyone on the other side for Genji has looked utterly fantastic. In this round, at least, one off a Blade Storm. Showstopper, the only ult that isn't going to be playing a part in this round for either side. And Munchkin already having that Viper's Pit online. Clearly, this is a time where Alex needs to earn his money. Otherwise, I think Paperex
Alex tuh gede di Singapura ya.
Kalian?
Soalnya kalau cara ngomongnya bukan aksen-aksen perang.
Ngerap juga.
So many deeper things, and I think for them, bombing out like this in the uppers, it wouldn't speak well for what's to be seen because Loud Sentinels
Lane
aren't
up.
going to be any easier.
Kecil lane up.
I wouldn't want to face off against either of those teams right now. Here we go, though. Again, early paranoia. I think this one is not really going to be played upon.
Aduh, bagus banget itu anjir.
Iya, Cuk.
Get them space, but something, I think he's just going to disrespect the utility. Had enough of these pushes coming through. He is going to get pinged up. They know where he is. And Texture's already there to support.
Gila ya backupnya.
Baru defense tuh.
Nice. Tapi tiba-tiba 2 lawan 2 loh.
With the return from Paperex, they've got a real chance. The headshot angle held by Mind Freak, but Meteor's just ducked underneath it, playing the limbo, and he's winning this game with Mind Freak down. It's 45 HP.
Anjing, Phantomnya sih gak dirugikan lagi ya.
Phantom Korea nih sakit.
Managed to put the players on the back foot. Filled in every gap that Genji were trying to stuff their way into. They always had someone to take that second.
Aduh, jangan kalah dong, nanti sepi.
This time though, they lose out when it comes to the post.
Ternyata mikir itunya bang, bukan Indo-Pride-nya anjing.
Ya, di faktor X-nya itu bro.
Meteor's in a 2v2 scenario. The amount of times I feel like I've watched him just get both kills and his teammates still rotating.
Gebrak lagi dong.
So confident.
Anjing udah gesek-gesek mata berapa kali.
Even just ducking under where he assumed his opponent would be holding. That was again another big round for Paperex. A lot invested, even having some decent early trades, but it isn't to be. And now, well, Blade Storm is really all we could talk about, and they're so ready for his initial play. Almost goes down, but has managed to dodge that singular bullet fired by Texture.
Yeah, I think is that sending them elsewhere. Forsaken was trying to claim some space by sneaking through. We saw good success for that. I think when on the previous map was
ngepanis-panis doang nih anjing. Genji mah.
Nyari yang offset-offsetnya terus angle-nya tuh bagus loh.
Karen though, he has been consistent every single time they've challenged him. This guy's coming up with multiple 7-2
lihat tuh angle.
teammate ready to swing, and luckily because Karen was dropped very quickly, so too is Meteor. Hell, it's winnable for Divine, but his knife was pulled out.
Bro, kerap apaan sih? Kerap apaan sih?
Unbound ya?
Unbound aja nggak sih? Kita Watchparty unbound aja.
Again, Paperex have made some of these rounds look somewhat competitive, but
masalahnya smokernya satu doang.
Able to clutch out the late round again, as you said, ults are in their favor.
Biasanya Astra loh ini.
Finances are in their favor.
Astra kayaknya udah kurang playable deh.
Ini kan pernah pakai Astra maksudnya.
Counter operator going to be invested into on something. He has had a very quiet start to this game. Reaction shot for
Di dodge anjing.
already puts down Monyet.
Bawa temen nggak tuh anjing?
Iya, double pick mulu mereka tuh kalau mau maju.
Because Gen G are getting aggressive, giving PaperX a taste of their own defensive medicine. This is a really good start with 4 ultimates to fall back on, 3 of which will help you out if you're in a pinch. For PaperX, where do they go? Where do they take it? Maybe they can get a neural theft if they can even drop a body.
Bener lagi.
A wallbang kill with the Odin from Lakia. That's something drop. That's the
Gila, mereka main kontak gitu ya.
Mainin off angle doang.
Iya.
Ngepanis-panis doang kan. Nembak
Yang lihat
juga sakit.
Juga nih.
Aduh, jasan aja 27 anjing.
Aduh, kanan kiri gitu, Cok.
Bener-bener gak bisa loh.
Sehat-sehat orang sehat.
Janji menang ini. Lima juara lah.
Lihat aja nanti di lawan Sentinelnya nih. Sama-sama
kalau menang lawan laut.
Sama-sama aim keras.
Kalau
menang Sentinel ya.
Yang didukung sama orang Madrid kalah cepat.
Kok bisa mereka beli 30 orang lawan Genji 2 kali.
Gini juga ngeremehin kayaknya.
Udah habis tuh.
Mod kapan lagi?
I don't care what agent he's playing, he's having a damn tough time. 2 and 8. Compare that to Split last time, finding so many opening entries on that attack side. Now
menurut kalian salahnya di mana sih?
Salah gua, Bang.
Salah gua, Bang.
Often that's your job, but here we haven't seen those.
Giliran Watchparty bentar.
Lu nggak nonton menang Jus?
Penonton sebenarnya cuman ke live doang.
Iya, maksudnya lu.
Tapi
lu nggak WP
nonton pun mainnya unbound. Denger suaranya dong.
Coba lu sambil main unbound sekarang.
Cuma udah tamat.
Oh, udah tamat anjing.
Enggak ada. Baru beli Skyline.
Sama nggak tuh babi? Belum sama.
Lu yang ngikutin tai.
Anjing gua duluan.
Kocak, gua yang duluan download.
Gua yang beli dulu. Beli Skyline dulu.
Bukan gua duluan download. Anjing kayak bocah-bocah.
Tahu.
Buset bang.
Bang, udah dong bang. Pasti main.
Well, this is the round that he needed to wake up in. That spike is theirs, and they can walk it straight to the seaside once that door is closed. 16 HP, Mind Freak on 42, but
tiba-tiba turretnya nyala.
left. This could be very, very dangerous indeed. For now, though,
Nice smoke.
Texture's not deploying.
One way gitu.
Op in hand 16 HP turned to 0. Nice shot with the operator as Mind Freak now is a nade below him.
Kelihatan ya?
Up top, he's got the angle, could even pick off Munchkin.
Overthinking.
Itu dulu.
Texture's a little too quick. I didn't think he could fire off that quick.
Teki.
GG Ejet nggak sih?
We're quick scoping now, but that's the level we've hit.
Gan final lah. Genji anjing.
Jarang loh PaperX kalah langsung 2-0. Kayak minimal sekalinya kalah pun kayak 2-1.
Tapi kebantai.
Ini maksudnya jarang banget. Ini mah kebantainya anjing.
Tak lawan fanatik bangsat. Fanatik kan juga kebantai di luar.
Kayaknya ini emang mapulnya mihak Genji deh.
Iya anjing. Splitnya kan nge-counter.
all 5 ultimates, by the way. Gen.G don't need them. That's actually the point we're in. They don't need the ults. They're just winning the rounds anyway.
Ay, kasarnya ini bro, bias.
There you go. There it is. Okay. Cycle the economy a little bit. Here comes the big rocket
Ya.
and it's not landed. It's not found the value it needs.
Utanya bang.
Lockdown has been destroyed.
Lumayan lah.
Meteor was tagged
Nyicil.
down quite a bit.
That's the value, right? That's the value. They got rid of the show. They got rid of the lockdown, so they can at least
Mungkin
claim
digituin deh.
space. He's screwed. There's
Gila.
no way he survives that.
Gila kok utility-nya cowok.
Iya. Utility bagus, aim kenceng. Mau berharap apa, Cok?
Udah, woi.
Padahal double pick ya. Tapi tetap aja takut.
Takut dibanting ini tatang.
Nah, kayak gitu contohnya.
M-nya sakit sih ini.
Dapat satu nih.
Yang pick Dave aja deh. Di spek
Nah, hilang semua.
Tapi kekitanya kayak gak tenang, Cok.
Nggak bisa ya. Nggak sinkron anjing, masih nggak sinkron, ya susahnya.
Coba pakai cheat engine deh.
Oh. Lu. Tahu.
Lu juga tai. LV diem soalnya dia pelopornya.
Emang
detailnya masih cacat anjing walaupun menang. Flash telat
Gue kurang Paper X jarang ngecek angle loh, kalau udah masuk ya udah nyolong boy aja.
Ya dari dulu itu mah. Padahal ada Sleepy gamingnya itu, Cok. Padahal ada Sleepy di sana.
Iya.
The A side is, and they've made that realization. There's no further challenge, there's no utility, there's no reaction from Gen.G. So Forsaken realizes it's wide open.
Itu ngalangin, Cok.
By Lakia, that timing was near perfect. You have to, well, I mean, you can call it a mistake. At the end of the day, he was open to like 6 angles, so he has to just
something pakai
constantly being paranoid about them.
Phantom nih.
Aneh ya. Bagusnya tuh mereka nggak overpick loh.
Ini ya berinya bro.
Penting aja sampai pakai phantom loh. Berarti emang bau anjing. Emang bener-bener bau.
Anjing Dava yang pakai. Balik deh kayaknya ini.
Dia juga ya.
Dia yang depan soalnya nggak bisa.
Soalnya tuh planting buat
aduh tolong.
Nice.
Nice.
Bukan ahlinya bang. Harusnya waktu Davai pakai OP gitu, something pindah ke PC-nya Davai.
Goblok.
Sini aja gue. Bentar ganti dulu keybind. Lama. Wah, lihat. Menang pun nggak senyum.
Iya, nggak enjoy gitu anjing.
Gen.G come in with the Viper's Pit. That's going to be a problem to fight through on the defensive
Ini
side.
lebih sentinel laut kan.
Very strong tool for retakes.
Man, scary when it's a
Oke, mundur. Bahaya. Kecil bahaya, Bang.
Aduh, tai serem banget tai.
Ya, mati.
It was previously Karon being
Kan mati hanya pasti itu. Sama-sama ada pundak anjing. Ya OP pasti menang lah. Nggak bisa menang angle-nya soalnya sama bukannya.
Ini ngorbanin 2 doang buat bisa masuk ke itu.
Kemana tuh?
Nggak tahu namanya apa itu.
Anjing didot.
Anjing ngebutuh 1 aja berdarah-darah, Cok. Nice. Pijavu nggak sih 84 lagi?
Kalah lagi dong.
Do you get deja vu?
up close with a teammate further
Aduh,
away.
kedengeran ya?
Munchkin's making a lot of noise to try to find an angle to
Hmm.
deal with him, but instead running into Meteor.
Kena racun masalahnya, dia bingung juga.
And try to force this 2v2 with the Viper's Pit. That was a little scary. Thought Munchkin was about to be spammed, but now they've got a lot of space as they close in the distance. No snake bites to play with. That can help out, keep them way out of this pit, and with Munchkin falling, it's done.
Hampir cuy, itu udah rasanya di pala.
Seneng tahi.
Nggak punya util apa-apa anjing.
Apakah The Javu? Lihat anjing.
Anjing kecil banget itu.
Sama keliat kuda.
Anjing kecil banget itu.
Jebrak. Nah, podcast bersama Coach Al.
Aftan soalnya. Jadi langsung siap dia.
Belum pakai timeout loh.
Udah.
Genji.
Genji mau ngapain anjing?
Dari round 1, dari game map 1. Davai hantu. Mirip si Kelok tuh yang Kribo tuh.
Kelok 9.
Yang kidal itu loh.
We were taking too easy, I think. I mean, they did exactly what we were watching them, like in the VODs, like they play the same, like they are not scared.
Udah bahasa Melayu aja Davai, kita ngerti kok.
Their first time in Masters, and yeah, I mean, very surprised with how they actually perform.
Ini klip dari gua nih. Nanti Vi pakai ini aja Vi, watermark Vi. Biar gak nyuri ini.
Lu bikin copyright lu tahu lu anjing.
Cicate ngambil dari gua ini.
Genji, I mean the good thing is probably
Genji aja kaget dia.
Revenge, you know. I mean we lost to them in the Pacific kickoff, and yeah, I mean I think texture is giving us a lot of problem. Like,
teksturnya emang problem.
Iyalah,
udah
kelihatan.
Bukannya problemnya tim sendiri ya.
Insane as well. Even though he's a newcomer.
Satu.
But I think he's probably like the top player in the league. I think he got MVP as well in the Pacific kickoff. And yeah, I mean, insane. Yeah, maybe we go back and cook some strats, you know, to cook these two.
Davai has certainly been cooking 15 and 9, exiting that first
Bang, kapan aku punya
with the
secret
next
lab?
closest player being something. Pretty good player, pretty well respected. He's got 6 kills, almost a third of what his teammates rocking. It's been
Nama
tough
saya ini
for the
defendernya
Southern
kuat
Paperex.
nggak?
They haven't found a lot of success, but that little 3-round streak to close out the first
Kuat
half,
lah ada Sentinel.
it's given them a chance
Lah.
here. We want to see them take the pistol though.
Ayamnya masalah anjing gitu. Penting sih muter-muternya, Aizen ini parah.
Genji looking like a competitor for the crown, and thus far we haven't seen the Paperex that we know and love. This pistol round might just be a deciding factor.
Nice banget.
Great start from Monyet. Already pushing aggressively on the other side. Is something waiting for someone to try and make their move, and he's going to go back for a little bit more. Has to use the dash to get out of there.
Itu trepoinnya di bawah gitu.
The rest of the team somewhat
Di waterfall.
Aduh, masih bisa.
With a good trade. Keeping the numbers in their favor. Something needs to do a little bit more. He's done some damage, and there's the follow-up. A shot right to Texture's temple. That's going to put us in a 4v2.
Kenapa ke kiri ya trapnya?
Biar one way.
To take this pistol now, Forsaken
Enggak,
fallen.
trap.
Oh,
More of a chance. Something though delivers. Okay, he's up top and
buat waterfall itu.
Nice.
Awal yang baik.
Looks like even he's starting to heat up.
That's exactly what they need. Just him having confidence, because you look at some of the fights he's taken, and there's definitely risks about it, but that's always been his play style.
Iya, oke-nya di Pital Rondo.
Gecko, he's basically an op main, so then get the
Gila,
finances
ngeflick
going
nih.
early, get the orbs rolling on the duelist, which is exactly what's happened thus far. Get that sniper into his hands. This game can definitely
Udah malas gitu soalnya.
As said though, for the majority of the matches we've
Stres
seen
cuy Aaron.
here, mostly in Pacific,
Musuhnya sekarang bukan DRX lagi Aaron.
more consistent on their attack.
Siapa?
Diri sendiri.
Was essential.
Lebih kuat lagi.
Now the follow-up looks easy.
Gak beli ya dia. Oh, nabung buat OP.
They drop something. He's the player that's rocking with the pistol. So the margin for error's already been reached here. Any further kills will be costly, will force some level of reinvestment from the side of Paperex. But on the defense,
they can keep distance, and with the buy that Gen G have, they're definitely not favored on ranged fights.
Defiant will be solo, but you can see the rotation already coming out from Monyet. Jump peak will give him the info to go back in with that Marshall. This is a round that they shouldn't really have any opportunity to win. The weaponry not falling into
lah kabur, buka pintu kabur lemah.
The players they're pushing into are actually just going to start pushing into them. A good round from PaperX as they managed to bring things again back within 2. But the fact is it has been the buy rounds where
Defender
Gen G
side,
truly
bro.
have been a level above.
Well, just look at your screen. Besides something, this is a round that often you're going to look at as an eco, but 3 orbs away from a Blade Storm means he can force up here by an operator and potentially have a Blade Storm, even if they lose the round. With how consistent he normally is with that op, I would definitely put stock in him finding at least the 2 orbs. 1 kill and a death. We'll see what he can get up to.
It also means they can gamble the control. They've got him holding onto the A site, an aggressive position from Monyet. This is not really the gun you want to have here. Somehow gets out there unscathed.
Busuk anjing.
Marshall gue tuh.
Setup for players outside. After that spot comes through, fading back. Now the cross has already happened.
Anjing OP ya.
Something now in a pretty deadly position.
Udah besar
triple pick loh.
A little bit lucky there to even get 1.
Well, here's the chance for that operator to finally show its ugly face.
Ting.
Nice. Untung gak des depan.
And its texture. The man
Padahal animasinya ke depan dikit.
Iya, makanya animasinya ke depan. Jelek tuh angle-nya.
Kan gue bilang jelek angle gitu aja.
Selalu loh. Something tuh angle-angle-nya.
And Devi walkabouts. He's been so good. 19 kills, looking for his 20th and his 3rd of the round.
Nice.
Oh, he will get the opportunity, but he's being dropped. Doesn't matter because Monyet's there.
Nice.
Allah.
Nice.
Lego.
Gets me excited for PaperX. That round puts them way back in contention because Gen G got an eco.
Yeah, I like the way they play it as well. After the initial spot, that there was at least 1 player left.
Kok ke pinggir nih? Biasanya, tapi kok tadi animasinya kayak ke depan?
Iya.
Nah, game rusak. Kok pada pakai gelang konser? Bisa yuk. Langsung dapat ini pressing shot 5.
Dia chat nih.
Diusir. Dimajuin.
They have players lurking elsewhere. Trap just got broken on B. So now for PaperX, they have to be worried about the flank. It means you're not going to have Forsaken there to help with this fight. Instead, something has to
Nice, masih dapat.
Again, he finds texture. That's a big part of this.
Wah, habis peluru, cek. Kena tirip-tirip, kah? Wah, jelek nih.
Good position has been noted. As we said earlier, they know that trap was broken. They know there could be someone around here. It's why you see Devi wait.
Jing, sabar banget ya.
For the plant to come through while Monyet finishes this flank. Looks like they're
belum planting masalahnya.
They're very much aware that something is going on. I mean, PaperX haven't made a move. Why haven't they? Why are they not trying to fight for any bit of control? And that's not something they'll find an answer to until they plant the spike.
Angle-nya diliatin gitu. Mau bikin suara nih, Davai. Biar monyetnya mas.
Meteor.
Wah, anjing balanya.
Anjing. Lu sih Jus tiripti Jus.
Bener tiripti.
Denger dia
Jus.
Keluar tuh Mastercard.
Denger dia Jus, biar monyet masuk denger tuh.
Keluarkan Mastercard itu.
Gebrak. Geleng-geleng Davai. Udah stres cuy. Tapi OP-nya nggak dipakai loh.
Well, uncouth, but it works this time. Certainly caught his opponents off guard with Gen G 9-7 and claiming that round.
Kameranya di mana tuh sih? Oh, Jason di situ kameranya. Jelek banget ya sih posisinya Jason.
Look at where he is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really an opping angle normally, is it? Oh, nice flash. That's good.
Mundur langsung.
It's faded out. But Munchkin. Oh, the shot's missed. But Munchkin's been given a second chance at life while the showstopper is again just. Oh, I thought just used for space, but if he fires it out close, no, he doesn't pull the trigger. And now he realizes his mistake as the dive comes in from PaperX. They've got a lot to work with. The old stove should be, well, in theory, forcing the back. It hasn't happened.
Run and gun, bro.
Aggressive. Made this one problematic.
Gila-gilanya.
Spike already planted at least. So they're going to have to respect it and just fall back. Munchkin still holding.
Ulti.
Potential crossfire just with the amount of time that can be born. Munchkin is just looking at that
Ya,
clock.
tahu satu. Main. Bareng. 3-2-1 dong, 3-2-1.
Menang sih menang tapi kenggal.
Udah itu, udah 3-2-1 itu. Cuma kalah angle aja.
Ambil OP.
Udah 3-2-1 itu tapi kalah angle aja. Udah bareng anjing. Udah bareng.
Beda ini beda. Gerakannya. Ini sih.
Untung gak ditembak lagi. Iya. Ragu-ragu aja texturnya.
I can understand he doesn't want to give away his position, but you know, you make a decision there. Do you gamble it? Do you not? And well, he chose wrong. Chips on the wrong color. Well, 9-8. And for PaperX,
Kayak orang Korea.
looks like they've really got their hands.
Sekian.
Artinya apa, Bang?
Aduh sama something.
Ya di situ.
Sama siapa nih?
Kelihatan ya.
Ting.
Salah deh aja Bredes.
Minta tuh di spam tuh.
Dapat 2.
Aduh.
What the
Nice.
Ini kah saatnya kan?
Ini kah saatnya?
Ngejinx.
Tolol.
It's time to sign. Saatnya bilang GG Agent kan dari sekarang. Set on. Kecil banget, Cok. Kepencet itu misklik.
Kepencet W-nya. Panik dikit. Oh.
Kayak di TA ya. Bedanya di TA diusir.
Emang fans apa yang diusir? Aduh. Dia kenapa ngefans gitu ya? Padahal gak ada yang mau ngepick.
Buta masalahnya.
Kenapa sih?
Apa?
Wow, itu dapat. Gila masih hidup ya.
Masih hidup, Cok.
Satu lagi nih.
Ya udah pas, udah tahu punya HP.
Jumpsuit FF, Cok.
Kena FF. Aduh. Susah. Settingnya udah.
Hidup indah kalau nggak nonton PaperX. Bisa.
Waduh sih.
Aduh sama.
Kenapa ganti?
Habis sih. Karena angle sih itu.
Waktunya banyak sih.
Iya, cuman nafsu. Udah disama-samain skornya 9 sama.
Ini, Cok, bagus banget flashnya.
Padahal angle-nya udah kayak gitu loh.
Salah angle tuh.
Ya flash miss ya. Mukanya.
Udah capek tuh ada fight mainnya. Latihan nih sakit klasik.
Genji could be on the home stretch very soon, and Forsaken in that corner needs value. They've not seen him. He's good for
Yang keduanya nembak badan.
Nggak expect ada di situ anjing.
So many players are low. One extremely low in the corner. It's the rocket to find him.
Mati kena racun. Langsung nunduk loh.
Langsung jongkok bro.
Mana senjata lu, Bang?
Gak OP dia.
No flash available for Device, so it's just going to have to be the raw push. Already managing to retrieve a right.
Aduh, jongkok momen.
And the major worry here for PaperX, they don't have backup credits. They don't have anything in
Tiri
their
Ripti lagi.
Udahlah.
This could be the beginning of the end.
Makasih ya guys sudah nonton.
Streamer 1 match.
Males cok. Udah bete duluan gak sih? At least game kedua kayak PaperX. Jadi kayak nunggu dulu gitu. Ini mah game satunya udah gini jadi males nonton Sentinel.
Nggak usah ditonton sih. Apa tuh mas?
Oh bikin suara. Nyangkanya ke broken wall.
Gak buta banget.
Telat banget tuh. Balik nggak sih?
Wah teki.
Udah kayak.
Kok tim lain Tiri Ripti-nya bagus, PaperX enggak?
Dah. Lower bracket.
Nice. There is still hope.
This round at least was a weaker investment, but they had to use one of the ults and it got absolutely
one way.
And the second we've got into these post runs, that's where Genji have looked their most fearsome. A team from last year that started
anjing bener-bener kayak map 1 anjing.
Map 1 mah 12-8.
A huge overhaul of this roster with risks taken.
Tadi udah sama loh, sembilan sama. Kena Tiri Ripti langsung ngecok.
Ya begitulah.
Players that have not found success elsewhere. Texture, one I think really highlight. Like in G, he was okay. But to go into a Gen G roster that's now playing for a minimum of top 3 if they win.
Kekalahan.
Tidak ada yang nonton.
Biasa aja, nggak ada yang gimana banget anjing.
Looking to try and do what no Pacific team has ever done before.
Let's go lower bracket.
Take themselves to an international victory. The PaperX are not dead, not down until you stamp them out. Definitely looking injured.
Pada pakai vandal semua ya. Pas tadi Phantomnya sakit. Para main jarak jauh sih ya.
Nggak ngaruh, di Bruce juga pakai Phantom.
Kalau defender doang kali.
Oh biar nge-spraynya nggak kelihatan ya.
Sama mereka kan disamperin. Aduh, kanannya. Aduh.
Yang begitu-begitunya tuh loh.
Gue udah berdua cok.
Ten.
Masih kena lagi.
Masih kena cok.
Fake information.
Karena TP. Ting.
Udah getar cok.
Banget anjing. Something. Nah, Sentinel PaperX aja di lower dah.
For this, Divine needs to buy some time. He still has a flash to play with. There it goes. It's popped and it's cleared out this corridor. Device even won the fight.
Dia fast kemana dah? Oh gak kena.
Itu. Ke dalam yang buat hancurin.
Loh.
Salah anjing playnya gak di situ bang. Udah smoke di situ kan.
It might be too low. I just dodges that.
Time.
The time now. Not to be played with. Okay, no, Texture went out swinging.
GG, no time.
There's no chance whatsoever.
Gila plannya OP anjing.
Anjing 2-0 cu. Salah kayaknya gue masang jodol.
Kalian juga guys.
Bangsa.
Sekalinya WP.
Kalah. Tapi nggak pulang.
That's not the crown they're going for anymore. They said it at the time. Their goal was to make it to the playoffs. Well, they've made it there and they've continued to push forward in that upper bracket. A team has said that last year didn't really do too much, didn't really give us much to be excited about, and then bringing together a mix of players that maybe many didn't expect to do well, definitely didn't expect to get this far. They continue in that upper bracket to fight off and be the representative as they face Americans, and they send the previous Pacific champion, a previous finalist of one of these events, down into the lower bracket.
Kalau menang syukur, kalau kalah ya udah.
Tapi biasanya PPRX harus gitu loh, harus do or die dulu baru aktif. Nih di lower bracket nih pasti bantai-bantai. Soalnya
siapanya?
Musuhnya lah.
Musuhnya.
Pakai nanya. Dan do or die baru pendukung Prabowo semua cok. Dua semua itu jadi. Aduh nggak ada Clippy hari ini. Cuanku menghilang.
Baru cair.
Belum cair, nggak ada email. Pembayarannya sudah berhasil, tidak ada.
Kenapa gitu?
Harus ada email dulu dari Google-nya.
Oh, padahal nggak kerja.
Hah? Iya makanya aneh. Biasanya suka di email kayak segera cek rekening Anda, pembayaran sudah berhasil. Tidak ada email. Ngirimnya dari Irlandia sih.
Dong juara dong Pasifik.
Tapi Genji yang juara bukan PPRX. Yang first time
Mas Melo Jujutsu Kaisen.
Apa?
Marshmallow. Iya, dia ganti sampul Facebook. Marshmallow Jujutsu Kaisen.
Wah, nice.
Ada yang komen nonton CGRS Squad Kill. Balik sini karena lihat PPRX sekarang tanpa Jing.
Ya udah mari kita coba Rak. Mana ya?
That's such a huge compliment to hear.
Mana ya?
That's the great thing about this team. You look at them on the stage, you look at
Gua mau lihat contohnya.
a great time. Everybody
Oh,
like
begini.
standing up, like
Itu
bows
di
and arrows. Like
Q-Retweet.
this is looking like a completely different
What's
squad.
only
And honestly,
like dari
I'm so
harus follow dia nggak?
impressed with what we've seen. Luckily, now we get to hear
Betul
from
deh.
Munchkin
Kayaknya
down on the stage.
follow aja.
La victoria más convincente para Genji hasta
It's
ahora. The
only
most convincing victory for Genji
like
so
dari
far. They had
ini.
to be in playoffs. Tenía que ser en playoffs. Estoy aquí con Munchkin para que me cuente un poco de lo que ha sido esta partida y lo que ha sido este recorrido. And the first thing
Coba Raki menang.
Masih berharap.
Anjing Aron min 2-1 cok.
Ini kaca yang nonton 800.
Ada sayap.
Emang ngaruh?
Ngaruh. Buktinya 800.
Juara VCT India bro.
Karena Wilson nggak nonton juga sih.
Iya sih.
Ini tapi yang live banyak tuh. Aduh, pick'em gua hancur nih anjing. Oh tadi udah mau pick'em tuh anjing. Ah, enggak dulu dah.
젠지 선수들은 그거에 대해서 어떻게
coba
풀어나가려고
pick'em
대처를 했는지
doang.
궁금합니다. 아무래도 갑자기 이렇게 따라잡히는
Lu megang lampu apa sih?
있거든요.
Oh enggak deh. Bener gua anjing.
저희가
Like stick.
사이퍼들을 많이 만나봤었기 때문에 사이퍼
Like stick ya anjing beneran ya. Iya emang ada cok. Like stick
그리고
anjing.
저희가
Oh
중반부터
fuck
좀
beneran anjing.
따로
Beneran anjing.
잡혔던 거는 저희가 좀 방심하고
Kirain bohlam dipegang.
커뮤니케이션이 잘 안 돌았던 것 같습니다.
Well, we're familiar with going up against
Anjir, Mr. Beast ini.
Cypher, so first thing we talked about was how to play
Mirip,
against
Cok.
Cypher comp. And I think when PaperX were making the
Kurus
comeback, I
amat.
think we had some miscommunications and
Beres
mistakes
tipes
going
itu.
on, but we were able to, set it straight.
Mr. Beast ya pas belum kaya ya.
Gua kata lucu anjing Mr. Beast tipes. Tipes lah.
Iya banyak cok.
Kebanyakan makan mie itu.
Kebanyakan dikubur anjing.
Kebanyakan dikubur.
Dikubur dalam peti.
Gue nonton lagi sampai beres.
Tapi bener ya, Raki kok bisa melawan Genji ya? Coba ada lastiknya ya. Tiwan juga punya gak sih?
Tiwan ada juga. Ada juga.
Kenapa lo lingkarin gitu, Jus?
Oh, ada tampilannya.
Ada kocak.
Oh. Gak tau dari Microsoft Edge. Kalau gini refresh. Close all tab. Ini gesture.
Gak ada.
Oh, gak ada
anjing.
Gak lu lingkarin wajahnya casternya.
Iya anjing.
Kalau gini ada lingkarannya.
Gak ada.
Oh, kursornya. Di gua klik kanan tuh ada ininya. Kayak kan ke close anjing. Kocak.
Aduh, Jiva lagi live enggak? Jiva lagi live masih live ya? Nggak jadi ngejokes.
Kok nggak muncul?
Coba Raki menang.
Masih berharap.
Timnas sukses, tim Indonya yang bobrok.
Que no les destruyen en el momento en el que están en el stage, en el que tienen que jugar. Y también dice que sí se consideran como uno de esos equipos que bajo presión puede brillar más y cada vez los vemos más fuertes.
Spicy gimana kabarnya? Langsung
marah-marah.
Langsung end stream.
Tumben nih hari kerja libur.
Siapa?
Gua.
Iya lagi. Senang atau sedih, Vin?
Hari kerja libur.
Sedih lah.
Kirain seneng kan biasanya kalau yang hari kerja libur.
Kemarin ngomongnya gue bisa tidur lebih cepet nih berarti. Salah nih.
Beneran tidur lebih awal.
Kurang ini ya, kurang spesifik ya.
Oh, mau lawan Sentinel katanya.
Biar kucing.
Lawan tuh RRQ dulu. Udah. Gimana nih Bang, lanjut Watchparty nggak? Yang lemes cok.
Ini kami juga short lu.
Oh iya, itu gue yang edit.
Yang Cahya.
Iya tadi gue lihat. Gue ngecek. Mike anjing. Siapa yang edit Jus?
Gue lah. Terlama anjay. Tuh dulu gue sering masukin short viewer.
Ini bisa gue ensim gak sih?
Bisa. Gue dari tadi pengen mencet aja.
Oh lu bisa nge-end streamin.
Bisa.
Caranya gimana Bang?
Orang bikin pollingnya bisa.
Oh iya lu punya aksesnya ya?
Kan sama anjing.
Masih mempunyai nyawa.
Kekuatannya.
Lebih tepatnya yang ada di lower bracket. Dan nantinya mereka akan menunggu antara Sentinels atau Loud yang akan turun menuju ke arah lower bracket.
Enggak sih.
Tapi gue yakin sih selain mereka menyuarakan
kapan final?
Enggak ya ini. Match setelah ini ya.
Sekarang juga Genji lagi.
Udah pada ngeliat di bantai-bantai ke tadi.
Lucu sekali.
Genji bener-bener ini ya. Win streak.
Itu ya dengan adanya lightstick kayak gitu. Tapi anyway, teman-teman sekalian, sesaat lagi kita akan menuju ke arah series yang kedua.
Belum.
Yang akan
Aduh, ini terang banget. Gimana sih ini Liquipedia dark mode
di Masters Madrid 2024. See you again.
Nggak tahu, lupa.
Terang banget deh.
Emang bisa?
Bisa.
Gue kira VLR dong.
Gimana ya caranya? Langsung main. Oh enggak sih. Berapa menit sih?
Gitu-gituan sih ini.
Itu barusan Rek.
Ini tadi. Ini dikasih ikro apa sih? Buku doa gitu, doa harian. Sama amalan sholat apa aja?
Apaan?
Ada deh.
Parah banget mainnya circle-circlean.
Ya emang. Makanya ada Discord ini.
Makanya ngidol lagi. Ngidol lagi guys.
Ada circle dalam circle.
Makanya ada hal yang tak terlihat ini.
Aduh, gua udah tidur loh padahal.
Kayak yang nyesel gitu.
Ya memang lah, pasti anjing. Gue juga menyesal menunggu-nunggu.
Gue juga menyesal live.
Ekspektasi apa-apa anjing nonton VALORANT ini mah anjing. Mending nggak end stream Jus?
Saatnya kah? Gue disuruh end stream loh.
Aku mau mandi anjing.
Anjing kelihatan lupa.
Ini mainnya nggak se-eksklusif dulu anjir.
Udah lah end stream males anjing.
Mainnya kayak harus secure banget.
Iyalah. Sewe gaming ditungguin di spawn anjing, mau ngapain anjing? Udah nggak bisa anjing.
Dulu kayak ini chaos yang terstruktur.
Cacat paper X anjing yang main gitu. Udah lah TYT